Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? I'm Bray Thorn. And that's really loud. There we go. Welcome to the stream, everybody. How's it going? Hope you're having a great evening, and I hope to contribute to that in some way. That's the goal. Not sure how I feel about these cables. But yeah, happy to see y'all. Welcome to the stream. And it's time for more PC matchmaking. And I think we can expect what we've been experiencing in the last few PCM streams, which is fewer people buying luxury products. Luxury products definitely include gaming PCs. So don't expect a whole lot of people looking for help, but whoever needs help, we're going to be here. I just want to say hi to London Boy. How's it going? It's been a minute. Hope you've been well. Over in Twitch chat there. And over on the YouTube side of things, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? John Paul Bacon, welcome. Sailor X, how you doing? Alice, welcome. Glad to see you. And Robert Fixit, what's up, buddy? Sailor X said, I think it's finally dawning on some of the tech YouTubers that the price of everything is about to skyrocket. Like I told them a month ago. Well, I think a lot of us, because we talk amongst ourselves sometimes, and I sometimes am able to maintain friendships. Not always. I'm very bad at that. But at least, keeping up with contact and stuff. But the rumblings have been there for a while. The thing is, the question is, do you basically alarm your entire viewer base? Do you worry your entire viewer base, or do you report in such a way where it's like, hey, buy stuff now? Which can lead to impulse purchases that aren't necessary, things like that. It's just been too unpredictable. There's times when something bad is on the horizon, and we can do our job accurately and predict it. Ish. No way with this. It was just too much of the yes we will, no we won't kind of stuff. It's just been an absolute mess, to say the least. So at that point, it's like, do you go for clicks? A lot of people did, and that's fine. I mean, that's kind of our job. Do you try to be careful about it, hold back on content, and see what you see? It's a pretty tough call. Can't really begrudge anyone else who, like me, hung back and was careful about it. Eric Bergman, what's going on? Welcome. And Sarge Marine, welcome. Forgot to put the brakes on my casters here. There we go. Bone Shock, what's going on? Clone Smurf, Sarge Marine being in both chats. I appreciate that. London Boy, yeah, major life changes since last year, different career path I didn't expect to find myself in. You and me both. Well, I mean, that's been a few years for me. But I hope it's all good changes. And congrats on the new career path. Clone Smurf, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Good evening, Bone Shock. Hope you're doing well. What's up? Just had my second day at my new gig, says Triple Bears Beats and Battlestars. How's that going for you? Sailor, I work at a warehouse and truck traffic is slowing down. I am concerned. Oh, yeah. The Port of Seattle is empty, man. The Port of Seattle is empty. That is the cracking of doom. It is very scary. I mean, you're going to be going to... you got your Target and Walmart CEOs warning, like, we're going to have empty shelves. I mean, they're if anyone's careful about consumer confidence, it's people who sell to many, many, many consumers, like those companies. So they're not going to say that stuff lightly. You're welcome, London Boy. Observer of Thoughts, thank you for the lurk. Welcome to the stream. I appreciate the lurk. Triple B, hard work paid off. Became a hospital administrator. Very cool. Congratulations. Now I know where to go if I stub my toe. I didn't mean to rhyme that, but I went with it. Full send. Whatever. Don't worry, we make toilet paper in America. Clone Smurf with the important news. Zelmov, thank you for the lurk. How's it going? Welcome. Speaking of ports, my career kind of has something to do with that. Oh, really? Okay. Well, you might experience some downtime. We just need everything to just stabilize, please. Here's the thing. I don't care if it's like bad or I just need some stability. Like, if it's gonna be really bad, I need to know. If it's gonna be okay, I need to know that. Like, it's pretty scary stuff. But you know, we've gone through a lot here. So, Jerky Vapor, what's going on? Welcome, Steve. Welcome, buddy. How are you? I randomly mistakenly subbed to some dude and I was surfing channels. Sorry, bro. I didn't even know, dude. I don't even know, dude was just looking at sub and hit the wrong key. That's okay. I'm sure they don't mind. Oh, cargo specialist for the army. Oh, okay. No, you'll stay busy. Very cool. Popeye 425, welcome. How's it going? Don't tempt Murphy when it comes to toilet paper. We just need that to be on the shelves. That's all we need. Stability. Good luck, USA, I hope. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate it. Challenge accepted. Good, thank you. My computer's doing good still because of you, Popeye. Happy to hear that. That is good news. And yeah, take care of that thing. It's an investment. So, I haven't seen if anyone has. I've been noticing there are some people who will submit the form when I'm not online. And then they don't come back. Like, they don't come in to get help. I'm not going to email you. You need to be here live. I'm realizing that maybe people think that I'm going to help them at all times of the day or night. Like, no, you got to be here. I'm pretty sure there's nothing in the form that would imply that I help. Just because if you're waiting for that off stream, you're going to be waiting a long time. Just saying. But yeah, so here's the deal, everybody. If you are looking for help and you want to get yourself on this list right here, so that I can help you with finding either... Oh, did I not finish helping ENRF? I thought I did. No, I guess they weren't. There's no link there, so... Oh, there is. I just didn't mark it right. There we go. If you want to get on this list to get some help finding either the right pre-built or DIY parts list for your first DIY build or something like that, whatever the case is, you have two methods, depending on whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, Stream Elements just posted the link right there for you to fill out the form. Go ahead and click that link, answer those questions to the best of your ability, and I will be happy to help you out. If you're watching on YouTube, check the description of the stream. And the first thing there is a link to fill out the form, and that's what you do is you fill out the form. Form's not difficult. It just asks you questions you should be asking yourself anyway, and then proceeds from there. Now, if you have filled out the form and you are currently waiting for help, I promise you, I don't automatically know that. So you got to tell me, and I've given you ways to do so, mostly on Twitch. On Twitch, if you just follow the stream, you have access to some free emotes. One of those emotes includes one that says, I'm on the list. It's just an emote. It says I'm on the list. That is exclusively for the use of those who are waiting for their help. And if you're watching on YouTube, you got to type a little bit. Sorry about that. Please type in chat exactly this. At Braethorn, I'm on the list. If you need help with the spelling of Braethorn, look at the stream you're looking at. It is there, right underneath, pretty much. And that's it. "24/7 support. No, thank you. Happy Friday to you, Urutu. It's not Friday, though, as if I feel the need to mention each time you do that on Not Friday. Someone stole my Sharpie. That's not cool. Wait, do you mean like the Sharpie marker or a Sharpay? One is significantly more serious than the other. Purchase date coming soon. Middle of selling the Harley. Oh boy. Probably sad to see the Harley go. Sorry to see you do that, but hopefully it goes to a loving home. London Boy also finally live in a state where Micro Center with a Micro Center, but it's 3 hours away. Sadly, that's a rough time frame right there, because like you can save money going to Micro Center, but you spend it on gas getting there. Worth it for the experience at least once, though. You got to do it. How's your stapler, though, dude? I do have a red swing line somewhere around here. I need to have it in my setup. Don't sell the Harley Quinn. No, it's a Harley Davidson, but close. Are you a licensed psychiatrist? Nope, I am not. I don't think I'm a licensed anything except a licensed driver. I used to be certified for network administration, if that helps. Actually, that is a lie. I did live in Florida for a while, but that was Miami. I'm in Virginia Beach now. Got it. Still giving out free knowledge. What a legend, Popeye. Thank you very much. Right back at you. Stopped by Roby's stream earlier. That was nice. It's always nice to talk to Roby. It had been a long time. And like the last time I saw him was for like 30 seconds at CES. I never get to hang out with Roby anymore, and that makes me sad. One thing is I don't go to PAX anymore, and he generally goes to PAX East and West. And that's where we usually got to hang out. But not so much. Also, QuakeCon in 2023 was a lot of fun because I was with him on a project, which was really cool. He's a computer building sensei. I don't think there's a license for that, though. I got my license to fly in World of Warcraft. Oh, same. I probably still... That mine's probably expired. It has been like 8 years or something since I played World of Warcraft. Maybe longer. It's been a while. So, I'm looking forward to seeing a few people mark down that they are on the list, particularly those who have filled out the form. Understand this. With the current state of the market, prices are skyrocketing, and your money won't get you what it used to. So, basically, whatever your budget is, you're basically going to be like, if you were like, oh, I'm going to get a solid mid-tier system, you're going to be in the budget mid-tier kind of area there instead. And prices are still changing. Like, y'all got to understand something about the supply chain, okay? When a company orders a container full of something, okay, it is very expensive, and it takes a very long time to ship, say, from, I don't know, China, throwing that out there. It takes about 40 days, at least, to arrive on our shores. And then there's, getting the container, sorting which container it is, getting the container to you, unloading it, the container, sorting through everything, adding it to your inventory, and finally selling it or building it into PCs. Well, around the time of April 2nd, that's a date that pops into mind for no reason, companies in a panic started to cancel their order or redirect their orders to, say, if it was someone who sells both in the US and in the UK or in Europe, right? They were redirecting them to Europe or other parts of the world where they can actually make money on their goods. Why wouldn't they? That's what I do. Even if you're a US-based company that sells worldwide, you're doing that. So once we have some kind of certainty, an idea of what this is actually, how this is actually going to shake out, we will then start to see shipments being scheduled again, which is going to take longer than a month to even get to our shores. That's once it ships, it takes 40 days. they have to first ship the container. Like, guys, this is going to take months to fix. Months to fix. So, I mean, that's the thing is any government can impose tariffs. They cannot force companies to choose to sell in the United States. And many companies are choosing not to do that. Oops. Uh-oh. Did we not understand the supply chain and how it actually works and how companies are going to react to paying 150% more for their own product to bring it to the US and then having to charge customers that much? Did we not anticipate that? Did we not figure that out? Yeah, I don't think we did. That, like that's the thing, is there are going to be people arguing, that's not how it works because that's not how I want it to work. Sorry, bud. It is how it works. And your particular worldview is not going to change the global freaking economy. So, yeah, whoever has whatever, like there are some, the problem is like you're going to see still things that are available, but way more expensive. But Bray, I thought you said they chose not to ship here. Well, they did. This is the stuff that was already getting here. And they're like, crap, we're going to have to take a loss on this stuff, but we got to pass that along to the customer or else we shut down. Hey, how about that? So, yeah. Did all the people watch the 3-hour GN Terrace video? Unfortunately, Rurutu, the video is 3 hours. So a lot of people are going to choose not to watch it. And that is truly unfortunate. And I think it would be very beneficial to people if GN made a supercut of that video. Or if they broke it into parts. I mean, other than it being in chapters already in the video, that, like, you can say all day, like, it's got chapters. No, people see that timestamp on there, or they see the runtime, and they're like, whoa, ain't for me, buddy. I've been watching, 60-second videos for the last 3 years. I can't do it. Eric says PAX East is just 2 weeks out. I know. Roby Tech was asking me if I'm going. I'm not. I wish I was. I'm not going to the SCT fair in Southern California, which I would love to, but it's for Southern California tech culture, so I'm not part of that. And there's just a lot of stuff I'm not going to because I'm trying to focus on getting to Computex, but it's really looking iffy. Roby asked me about that too, and it's like, I'd love to. Yeah. Not yet, but saw the thumbnail, and I will. Yeah, Steve, it's a good watch for anybody. And it's also not boring. Like, it might seem like it might be. No. They did a really good job of keeping it very engaging. Congress needs to take back the power to do tariffs. Like, I wonder when I don't know. Yeah, they do need to take that back. Yeah. It sucks right now. Indeed, London Boy, it does. Even if you just watch the height segment, you can get enough info out of it. Very true. That is true. And Barutu said that the height itemized cost breakdown is the best part. It really is. It really is. Height put themselves out there and showed everyone, hey, this is how much money we're making when you buy a case. And by the way, it's really not a lot. And that's very common for newer companies that are trying to make a name for themselves. That they get investment and they're like, all right, we're going to make ourselves known in the industry. And yeah, basically, when you buy a case from Height, they're making like $5-10 on the case. That's it. Robert just watches in pieces. That's how I have to do it. Yeah. Adam Williams, what's up? I watched Gamers Nexus movie video at 3x speed. That is not surprising at all. I don't know how you kept up with the math, though. I was sad that I'm missing out on this year Robotics Summit and Expo. Yeah, I was really hoping to go to what's Open Sauce. I was really hoping to go to Open Sauce this year. And I was trying to get a project together for it, but I was hoping it would be like last year where Computex rather, where Computex is right before Open Sauce, but Computex is coming early this year, a week or two early, so it didn't work out that way. Because Open Sauce told me last year, because I was applying for it late, they were like, reapply with us next year. We'd love to have you. But yeah, we closed applications a few weeks ago. And I was like, well, it's just because I had just figured out that Open Sauce was around the time I was going to be flying through San Francisco to come home from Computex. So yeah, I really, though, the main thing for me this year is making it to Taiwan, and might not. It's okay. We'll see. I mean, it's less than a month away. It is less than a month away. Like, even my thing is, I never go to like Twitch or YouTube and say, hey, get subs or memberships to help me do this thing, because then it would take probably longer than a month for it to even reach me. So it is what it is. Oh, Southern, yeah, okay. Short notice, right? Short notice, exactly. Okay, so again, for those of you who have filled out the form, I need you to do one of two things. If you're watching on Twitch, use the emote that says I'm on the list. You don't have to be subscribed. If you're following, you have the emote available to you. If you're watching on YouTube, type out @Breathorn, I'm on the list. 2 people who are here have filled out the form. I just need you to do that. It's part of the process. Well, London Boy, you don't need to do it. I know you're following. Well, you just did it. Okay, so let's do this. This is what happens when you let me know you're here. Even if you filled out the form while here, there's people who fill out the form and leave. So I'm not going to sit here for 15, 20 minutes and be like, are you here? Are you here? Hello? 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 Yeah, that annoys everybody, I'm sure. Also, what's up, Mikey? How's it going? Humanity, what's up? Welcome. I tried to watch with YouTube Premium's 4x speed, but I couldn't keep up. Don't know how you keep up at 3x speed. But you know what? That's a skill right there, probably. These voting contests follow the EOs. Unfortunately, a lot of people will follow them rather than get tied up in the courts for years. True. See, very true. Braxton, what's going on? Welcome. Good to see you too. Be back later. Got to do dishes and laundry. You got it, Ruutu. We'll be here. Oh boy. Okay. Amphetamines, probably. What? What's new, my dude? Nah, just complaining about supply chain again. Araxnus, what's going on? Welcome. Saw you earlier in Roby's chat. I need to hang out in there more. I miss Roby and everyone there. It's just hard for me to during the day sit in front of a stream for a while. Yeah. So, okay, we're probably going to start with London Boy, because London Boy has done the thing with notifying me that they're here and waiting for help. So, again, if you're watching on YouTube, you just type in @Breathorn, I'm on the list. If you're watching on Twitch, just use the I'm on the list emote, which is free to you as long as you have followed the channel. So, London Boy, tell me a little bit more about this build, because you're looking for a parts list. That's going to be pretty tough with GPU side of things. But you are looking at, we're going to have to see what they have at the Fairfax, Virginia Micro Center. Looking at 500 to 1,000 on the budget. What's the actual maximum dollar number? The maximum number of money dollars you can spend on the build. Not like a range. Saw Skytech had a 5060 Ti 16 gig Blaze 4 Mini. Nice. London Boy actually $1,200. Okay. Well, we do, just as a reminder, we do have a $1,000 to $1,500 range you could have chosen, but okay. I'm not roasting people anymore for that kind of stuff. I'm not mad about it because this makes the build a lot easier. Especially with you going for 1440p. We're going to have to see what we can do because, as I said, price hikes mean going with a lower, one tier lower normally on what you can get. Let's move this up. They do Micro Center pretty often. No, they don't get to be... Oops, no. They don't get to be above Falcon Northwest. Gets tints built up here, too. I like VRLA Tech. I haven't done their stuff in a while. I need to help somebody with a VRLA Tech PC. No, it's not what I meant to do. There we go. Doesn't have to be 1440 since my monitor native, so 1080p is fine. If we can just push it with that budget, it will work great. 1200 is kind of high, 1080p maybe low 1440p if lucky. Yeah, London Boy, basically it's going to come down to, well, we got to see what they have for GPUs. But they'll definitely have a bundle that'll help. Especially with you building it yourself, that'll be good. Let's look at video cards first. I usually go highest price to sort of start off. $50.70. No, what color do you want for the build? In black, okay. We got a 3060. We have a RX 7600. Got the ARC B570. Interesting. So basically, we skipped from a 3060 for 325 at the higher end of the budget GPUs, all the way up to a 5070 for $600. But I think we can actually manage that. 675, excuse me. One note though is that it is a white GPU and you wanted a black build. But yes, before you ask, this is $125 above what would normally be the base MSRP. Temptations to try Intel Arc. I wouldn't say B570 if you're really interested in 1440p. B580 maybe. Yeah, when you go there, there may be open box stuff. As Alucard says, very true. But we're going to try, because you said 1200, we're going to try to do, I know it's a white GPU, so basically you can have an Oreo PC. That's exactly, Alucard got it. Joshua Cunningham says, I'm on the list. Cool. Let me mark you down real quick. There you go. Okay, we're helping out London Boy right now, though. But welcome, Joshua. I have an Intel Arc on my LG Gram. It's decent. Let's try doing this. And again, I know there's only one of these, but I know that this is a white GPU. If you want to go $25 higher, you can get a 3-fan Gigabyte 5070, but $699 is $50 less than like base MSRP of a 5070 Ti. Not that you're going to get one for that price. I'm really upset about the 9070 and 9070 XT. Like, this should be the go-to card for you. But the cheapest 9070 is $800 and it's sold out. Like, way to go, AMD. Good job, buddy. AMD saving the GPU industry. Yeah, whatever. They're just as bad. Let's do it. Oreo, you got it. Let's look at bundles. Try to put you into something upgradable. $7600X with 16 gigs of DDR5 for $279. But if you go $369, you upgrade to a 7700X, a better motherboard that is full ATX, and 32 gigs of RAM for $90. It's probably worth it, but if we need to, we'll switch down to this one. But it's all socket AM5, which is great. We might already be close to budget. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to do this. Not with this GPU. But I mean, look at this. Motherboard, CPU, Motherboard, CPU, RAM, GPU, N44. It's not great. It's the GPU. The GPU is the problem. So what we'll do is we'll build you an upgradable PC that has a decent GPU. Nice price. Put more on the board here. We can try with that, but I would maybe change to the $100 less package, the bundle, or go for the as Alucard said, go for the 3060 or the RX 7600, because this RX 7600 should outperform the 3060 pretty handily. Oh, actually, that's a better one. Hold on. I meant to put highest price. There we go. This is a better one right here because it's the triple fan. It is cheaper. Same card, though. I'm Team Red. Well, all right, then. Other one is fine. I would go with the 3060 for the extra VRAM in it if it matters. Well, again, this is an upgradable PC. So the GPU is in there to start off with. And that's a great thing about budget PCs, is that you start with something that is modest in each category, and then you upgrade it as you go. Now, for $90, though, we upgraded already the CPU, motherboard, and RAM. Because the motherboard, the hardest thing to replace in your PC. You're basically rebuilding your whole PC if you get a new motherboard. So, Igor, what's going on? Thank you, Igor1980, for gifting 2 Tier 1 subs to the community. Let's go, nerds. That's Tier 1 sub for Dr. Deadclick and Ghoultastic. Welcome to the Swarm. Thank you, Igor. How's it going? So now that we changed the GPU, we're down to $670. Is this making more sense now? Holy crap. That's 5070 is so expensive. I wish they had a 5060 Ti. They don't. The 16 gig 5060 Ti would probably fit into this build like a glove. Or I wish they had a decently priced 9070 or 9070 XT. They don't, unfortunately. They might when you go over there, because London Boy, I don't know when you're going there. B570 would be good for 1440p for a couple of years, says Adam Williams. You could also do some 1440p on the 7600. The main thing you're going to end up doing is messing with your game settings, like lowering your game settings, things like that. Sometime next month? Okay, in that case, none of this stuff might be in stock. There's no telling. 9070s are around the same price stuff. Yeah, well, okay. I love Oreo builds. Sometimes there's too much white. You take that back. You take that back. I know what you got. I guess we'll say a 1 terabyte Inland Performance Plus. For now, we can change that if we need to. 3 weeks tops. Got it. Oh, you say next month. It is literally the 29th. So that could have been in 3 days. So, yeah, fair enough. Now, normally this is where I ask what style of case you want. Even though it's a budget build, there are budget cases that can get you the fish tank look with not just a glass side panel, but a glass front panel, like this Montec XR, which comes with 2 side-mounted reverse flow fans and 1 rear exhaust fan. This is probably the way I would think of going if you were getting an all-in-one liquid cooler. However, if you're getting an air cooler instead, with a 7700X, though, you need a decently beefy air cooler. But there are also very budget AIOs, and that's where this kind of case shines. More of a stealth look? Okay, that ain't the one for you then. Landcool 216. Well, I mean, actually, there is the... Okay, not too much RGB. That was not yours, actually. You don't want RGB. That was Joshua's, my bad. Okay, so what we do then is the Lancool 216 with black fans. There you go. Great case. Air coolers do just fine with the XR. I prefer Alucard. It's a preference of mine, and of course I pass those along to everybody. But I prefer to have pretty straightforward airflow when I'm using an air cooler. But it does work, yes, it does. And I did a build with the Montec XR with an air cooler, as you might recall, for Black Friday. If I'm just like if I'm looking at all Micro Centers like stock though, then I might choose it that way. Went to mine last week and picked up 6500 XT for $80. Good Lord. That is a heckin' budget build for sure. Let's give you some upgradability. Superflower Combat FG. 120 for 850 watts. Fully modular ATX 3.1. Interesting. So here's the thing. What do we do here? It's a budget build that is designed to be upgradable. We can go with a 750 or 850. 850 is what I would prefer. And there's some great lower priced options for that are reliable. Go with lowest price here. Dude, these Edge Gold power supplies from Lian Li are so good. They're such a good deal. Lian Li's killing it. But if you don't have a dual chamber case, they don't make a lot of sense. Built in that case, like the last 5 times already, tend to go with that whenever I need a good ATX case for flipping. Add more power to be ready. Yeah. Good power supply can last 2-3 builds if the right one is picked with 850 or 1000 watts for future. I tend to go minimum 850 watts for that reason. It's not going to constantly draw 850 watts. It's only when the system needs it. And we have budget for it because there's that dead space between the 7600 and 3060 all the way up to the 5070 where there's just nothing in between $300 and $600 and $700. Crazy. So this is letting us beef up other parts of the build. With that in mind, we could also go AIO or air cooler. Missed the notification for stream. Then I was playing Minecraft story mode. You're good, Bucket. Oh, you're good. No problem. Zintech, I always go for 850 or 1000 watt or even higher if I want upgradability. I mean, the funny thing is, if we were putting a beefier GPU in here, we would have to go with a lower end power supply. But no, we picked a good one. Corsair 850, RM 850E. Need to pick a different PSU, homie. Why? Oh, what the hell? Why is it an option? Look, 13 in stock is selected. God. Freaking Micro Center, man. Get good. All right, we're looking this one up here. Alrighty. Look at how many companies they are the ODM for. Jeez. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're looking for the Superflower Combat FG. Combat FG. Cybernetics report says 650 watt and 850 watt units died in 12 volt SCP testing, which is no longer used in modern systems. 750 watt unsubmitted. So it doesn't matter that it died in those tests because it's, again, no longer used in modern systems, but it did have issues there. It is otherwise rated B-, which for a budget system is actually good. What's up, Force? How's it going? Thermaltake 850 MIS going for about $90. Not sure where you saw that here, because we are specifically looking at at this location of Micro Center, so not sure what you were looking at. All right, well, let me see. Last I saw, Thermaltake Tough Power GFA3 was very solid on the previous all B tier. Okay, all good. B or B or B minus. So feel confident with that. I like to try to get air cooled Micro Center to avoid the higher build fee that comes in AIO. Yeah, it's not an issue here. And they have this one brand that is very low cost. King Cool. You can go with a 240 on this, $75, or the 360 for $85. Now, the 360, you basically, I mean, because you're getting socket AM5, you can upgrade to some pretty crazy CPUs there. So $10 more to get 360. There you go. And yes, the LANCOL 216 does accommodate that. The only thing to do is to not plug in the RGB so that you don't have to worry about turning it off in settings. And we're at 1059.94. Now what we can do is this. For not much more. Inland Performance Plus 2 terabyte instead of 1. Now you have 2 terabytes of storage in your budget system. 1117.94 plus tax. So there you go. There's your system. Unfortunately, Micro Center stock force you to go with the lower end GPU. But here's what happens, okay? If you find that when you go in a few weeks that they have more GPUs that are just a couple $100 more or $100 more or whatever than the one I chose for you, you can go down to the 1 terabyte drive. You can get a cheaper power supply, but be very careful about that. And look it up on the tier list to make sure it's B or B minus or higher or something like that. And look for any warning things on there. Yeah, and you'll be fine. So now what I need you to do for this is I need you to... Oh, that's way too much of a zoom. Why is it zooming that on here? I gotta fix that. There, that's where it's supposed to go. Okay. So right here, I'm going to give you the link for this, and you'll click save and save this build and set up a Micro Center account to save the build, or just add the whole thing to cart. But it might give you an error because some of these things are in store only. So you pretty much just want to save the build. Zintech, are AMD Beef 850 motherboards good? They're motherboards. I mean, there's going to be some that are good and some that aren't. Some that are like expensive and don't come with a lot of I/O or good power delivery, and some that are cheaper and have that stuff. So really, there's no way to say they're all good. There's your build. Now, the reason I need you to save it is because as soon as I do another Micro Center build, yours will go bye-bye. That one will be gone. Because I'm not saving it. You would be. Also, some things may be cheaper when you go to the store. They do a lot of random sales. Yeah, Igor's right. Actually, the bundle that I chose for you might not be there anymore whenever you finally do go. So, there you go. Oh, not at Micro Center, my bad. It was Amazon Prime. Okay, Eric. Yeah, this person specifically, as you can see here, requested the Fairfax, Virginia Micro Center. So, well, you could see it. There you go. You couldn't see where it said it on the top because I was zoomed in. Here you go. There. Saved. Awesome. There you go, London boy. Happy to help you out again. MSI, I don't deal with Asus anymore for a reason. Yeah, they got good ones. MSI and Gigabyte tend to be my go-tos as of late. Yep. I can always call them. 3-hour road trip. Let's go. All right, I've got a request for you though. For your this isn't that's something I'm adamant about, and every road trip playlist needs to start out with. The first track on your road trip playlist needs to be Tom Petty's Running Down a Dream. Got it? Moving this week, says Force Gaming Network. Oh, yeah? That's never fun. I don't think anybody likes moving, but best of luck to you on that. Got it? Awesome. Never, I'm picky about my road trip playlist, because I think we all should be. It's one of the reasons to go on a road trip. Listen to good music. Also, but still, it's in keeping with the whole journey before destination thing. Okay, so the next person on the list was going to be Joshua Cunningham. Joshua, you still with us here? It wasn't too long ago that you're saying you're on the list, so. On Micro Center is a 4 and hour drive. So close, it's so far away. Closer than most, I guess, if you think of just the general populace. I built with them all, not many issues with MSI and Gigabyte boards. See, the thing is, I've built with ASRock motherboards, and aside from the BIOS being a little messy, I've never really had any problems with them. But I don't build at the same kind of scale that like an SI would build at. So sometimes I'm like, why don't they like them? But then they talk about failure rates. And failure rates, guys, the thing is, there is an acceptable failure rate for products. So like maybe 5% of Asus boards will have problems and need RMAs, or maybe MSI boards, something similar. and then maybe 7% are ASRock, and they're going to be like, all right, we're not working with ASRock. That's too high of a percentage. And that could literally be it. Don't let it turn you off to an entire brand for your individual purchase, if that's what you're doing. My only gripe with ASRock is mainly their software suite. Alucard, no motherboard manufacturer has a good software suite, and as a matter of fact, MSI's is one of the worst. I hate MSI Center. I hate it. I hate it so much. Signal RGB. There you go. You're done. My wife plays WoW retail, and her 2021 Asus RG laptop is dying. She's asking for a desktop, but the market is awful. You're right about that. Is pre-built better for now? Pre-built is usually better in times of scarcity. However, this is affecting everybody. So you're seeing prices go up across the board, but there are some places we can look where they're not yet affected. So glad you read past my typos, Braythorn. I do try. Ghostboner87, what's going on? Welcome. So spend all the time bumping all my games down to 1440p, but that 9070 looked good earlier, bro. Oh yeah, good. The XTX is a chunky boy. Oh, I missed when we did that one build and said yes to the most expensive parts, and that build cost me around $8,000. I remember that. I'm remembering that now, actually. Yeah. MSI Center at least has ways to work with all different sorts of users. Yeah, but it still bothers me. We'll love your help finding a solid deal. No problem, Josh. We'll get you taken care of. Hope I can call you Josh. Sorry, because I just did. Sonic 1000. I can never get Gigabyte's RGB suite to control anything. That's not good. All right, just make sure you're plugged into the right headers. The 3-pin 5-volt RGB headers, and you should be okay. But also, Signal RGB is free. There's a paid version. You don't need to do that. It was a 3D rendering PC for game development. That thing might have paid for itself then. Prices are going to be in flux with what's going on in tariffs. Who even knows what's going on in tariffs? I don't know. Ain't going to stop people, though, from what I've seen. Ghost Poner, it unfortunately has in a big way. There are far fewer people looking for help here than usual. Christopher Crawford, what's up? Let's get this started over here. So let me ask you first. What is the actual maximum budget in money dollars? The number that you can spend. Not a range, but the maximum amount you can spend on the PC. That's generally what we aim for because it is an investment and we want it to last a long time. Plus prices have gone up. So, great point on the dollar where MSI hurt you. It's the software. I'll point right at the software if it's on the dollar. If tree meant doll, but I'll say dollar. I think my current 3D rendering one might be around 2,500, depending on if I feel like getting a specific GPU or not. I did fry the CPU 4 months later. Oh my god. You got money back. That's cool. I can understand that, but I'm saying people are still buying cards for more the MSRP is worth. And that's a problem because it supports a scalper economy. $2,000. All right, cool. So we want gaming, 1440p in white. Not too much RGB. We'll see what we can do. I'm going to go immediately to Skytech because they've had their custom systems are currently really getting hit hard. But their pre-configured systems are, last I saw, were doing okay. Oh, snap! Look at this. 9070 XT, 9800 X3D, 2210. Damn! Look at that. And White King 95. A little over budget, though. And what we do here is we just put in our budget on the slider here. Ah, dang it. I forgot to do this first. Never mind. We have to redo the budget thing. We're going to have to redo the budget thing. RGB Fusion has its own problems. Yeah, it does. I don't go with motherboard software for RGB anymore. I try to use... No, there is one software that I will use. It's not motherboard software, though. But if you have Leanly Unifens, you want to use Leanly Connect software because it has specific functions that can separate the outer and inner RGB, and it has all these special animations for it. You guys will see in the B-roll for ADEF's PC, I put a really slick setup on there. It looks really good. Need somewhere along the chains of line someone is losing money in one form or another, or what it costs to bring it to our state. The supply chain is completely screwed up. Every link of the chain is trying to make extra money right now, and then tariffs hit. It's pretty bad. Signal RGB is fine, but does not help me out for my flips. They're due to not many I can use when I don't have an account to log in. Yeah, you just well, I mean, if you want to put like a certain design, then yeah, you gotta log in, but you don't you can just log in as a guest, or just have it not logged in at all if you want to do just a solid color or something. $4070 Ti Super, that's a great card, but we've got 5070, 5070, 5070. Lots of 5070s. But a 4070 Ti Super beats the pants off a 5070. 9700X, totally fine. This one's on clearance too. 9700X for 1440p gaming, not a problem. You don't need an anything X3D once you go above 1080p. Yeah, I'd go with this guy right here. It's not 50 series. Oh no, doesn't matter. Does not matter. Let's look at what else we got here. So with this, we're getting a 850 watt gold power supply, 2 terabyte Gen 4 NVMe drive, so 2 terabytes of storage, 32 gigs DDR5 6000, so the appropriate frequency for the 9000 series Ryzen CPU. King 95 in white, one of my favorite cases on the market, period. B650 motherboard, so full-size motherboard. It is not a white motherboard. And this is not actually very well matched because they put in different fans for some reason that are not in white. But yeah, still, it's white PC. Overall, you're getting a really good deal on this. We do need laws against scalping, Sailor. The problem is free market economy and the implications of limitations in a free market economy. It doesn't mean that there doesn't need to be some kind of regulatory stuff going on there. There are plenty of regulations when it comes to economic stuff. It's just, where do you start and where does it end? I don't like scalping for sure, so I want to see it happen too, but if it can't run Oblivion remastered more than 49 FPS, I don't want it. The one we built for you should be able to do that in 1080p. My oldest uncle worked in the shipping industry for a long time till he retired, I think, just last year. It's a rough time right now. Rather, a few times kept nagging at me to log into my account every time I changed the color. Now, I mean, I've messed with it where it wouldn't really do that. It just depends on which setting you choose, I think. Nice. Skytech is reputable. Anything to be mindful of. Skytech is awesome. They are very well regarded within our community full of people who have bought from them. We have, if you're concerned about that, something that's perfect for you, which is in our Discord, which is linked in the description. We have SI testimonials channels. the channels where people who buy from specific SIs can go to them, to those channels, and report their whole experience. And Skytech has a good rep there. So whatever I say is one thing, but what actual buyers have to say should be more of consequence to you. Now, you can choose the 1-year standard warranty, 2-year refundable warranty, or 3-year refundable warranty. But at this price, it's $2,000 before my discount, because I do have a discount with multiple system integrators. This is one of them. So let's see what this comes out to after my discount. Add to cart. Let's see what it comes out to. No, site can't be reached. Neat. Maybe you won't have the issue? I don't know. That PC looks like a Four Loko can. I think a lot of PCs do these days. What? What is happening right now? What is happening right now? What the hell, Skytech? This is just like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't care what you say. YouTube, Discord, Twitch, TikTok, Guy. What the hell? Well, thankfully, I was able to shop for this PC, because I think maybe either it's on my site. Here, let me give you the link, and you can try it yourself. Yeah, it's doing it again. Whole site's down for you? Awesome. We actually had it happening. We watched it happening right in front of us. Sick PC says, nice. That's sick. Yep. Let me just let Jeff know real quick. Also, my phone just updated to One UI 7.0, so there's that. Okay. I texted Jeff. Is it a DDoS attack? I don't know. I don't know. I guess all these pre-built manufacturers still putting the one stick 16 gig memory, which I know DDR5 is powerful, but you're all still pull if they don't want a pay for the full set of RAM. We're only gonna put one stick of RAM in the PC. Ghost Poner, are you okay? Do you smell toast right now? What was that sentence? But you're all still pull the if they don't want a pay. I know you're upset, but take your time. Thanks for the recommendation, longtime watcher of your content. Keep up the great work for the community during these challenging and stressful times, Joshua. You got it. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate that. Just give them a little time. Look at the site back up and running. SkyTech is a popular site, so what would happen if you shrink the page? This is 25% zoom. And this is okay. Get $50 off. Yeah, no. It's just no. I'm getting through these too fast. Apparently nobody else needs help. Well, I mean, I know that Ahmed RXD1 said they needed help at 9 or I'm sorry, 8:30. 8:23 or so, but then they didn't say they were here. So, yeah. Northern Lights, what's going on? Welcome. Yeah, I was just saying that why are pre-built manufacturers still only putting 1 stick of RAM in their pre-builts when it's not that much more for the full set of 2 16 gig sticks? No idea, but I don't recommend PCs like that, so those are going to, if I've got anything to say about it, those are just going to sit on their shelves. But Joshua, I wasn't able to show you, but the code to get a discount, a further discount off the price is SWARM, SWARM, and that should give you an additional discount and support what I do. There you go. Give me a few minutes and I might do that. Do what? What's up? What happened? What did I do? Oh, no, you don't have to submit a form. You're okay. No, yeah. No, I mean, I'm encouraging people to do it. It's just, let me go over this one more time. For those who are not familiar with it, if you're here for the first time, I can help you with a DIY parts list or a pre-built PC based on your budget and your needs. If you're watching on Twitch, this thing keeps coming up from Stream Elements saying, want help getting the right PC for your budget and needs? Fill out this form. And then you click that link, you fill out that form. Over in YouTube land, it's easier because the form is right there in the description. Fill that out and yeah. Bone Shock, I have a question for you, Braythorn. Have you used or reviewed Godlike motherboard at all? Nope, never. The thing is, I have a motherboard that to review and unbox and stuff. I need to move forward with that. And it's a really cool one. It's just I was being put on hold for that because of the tariffs. Oh boy. I might go for AVA Direct. I like the fact that they have more options than anyone else. As long as they build it and ship it to me, that's all that matters. Zintech, I have to wonder how AVA Direct is going to be affected by this, because there's something you should know, because I've worked with AVA Direct in the past. They're good people over there. But they work differently than any other SI that I've worked with. They really don't keep much stock of anything. They'll keep stock of certain things that are very, very popular, but that's about it. And the reason there's so much selection, don't think for a second that they have 400 different cases in the warehouse for you to pick from. They order that stuff when you put it in your PC order. And that means everything they order is going to be hit by tariffs. Let's go look at their site and see if there's any notification about that. But Zintech, if you're looking for help with the PC, fill out the form. AVA Direct is really cool. The build concept is unique. It is indeed. I want a fractal design case with 180mm fans. That Fractal Torrent. There you go. CyberPower has some good PCs, but also seems like if you're going to do some changes on your rig, you really got to listen to how they ask you the question, go through stuff for the first time. Do not buy from CyberPower PC. They suck. And they apparently are not in any way open to fixing any of their issues. I can tell you that because almost every system integrator I've ever made a video about, if I had any kind of constructive criticism for them, which I had plenty of that for CyberPower, has reached out to me at some point and been like, hey, thank you for the feedback. What do you think we should do? Or how do you think we can fix this stuff? Or, hey, we're looking into what you said. We're going to try to fix it. CyberPower, instead, the only thing they've done is had people pretend to, I guess, be commenters and go in and comment, saying that my video about them sucks. And you can tell because most everyone else is like, yeah, I bought a CyberPower. It was terrible. Or I had this experience, or I had that experience. Or like, hey, great video. Thank you. Or whatever. And then there's like 4 commenters like, oh, this video is stupid and biased. He's clearly this and that because I bought a CyberPower and it's never had a problem. Or all of my friends and cousins have bought CyberPower and they were great and they're the best. And I'm like, the majority speaks otherwise, buddy. Like, I'm not guessing here. There's my own community that's reported back to me that y'all suck. So yeah, they used to be okay. And I think it was post pandemic, they kind of let their customer service go down the drain. I used to recommend them until I didn't anymore because people started talking about, hey, they kind of suck now. So like I had this bad experience. So I was like, all right, off the table. Never mind. iBuyPower is great on the other hand. They are. iBuyPower has world-class customer service, and it is time after time after time they've shown this. I got them back in 2013, had a good PC from them. Yep. Things have apparently changed over there, unfortunately, and it is unfortunate. I don't want CyberPower to go away. They have 200 employees that rely on them. Like, they just need to get good. That's it. But they're not interested in that. I've shared the story a couple times, but I was in a booth at Computex last year, and I was just packing up my bag after we did some content there. We had filmed something, but they had a little break area there. And I overheard a bit of a conversation happening with the person that I knew from that company, who was then talking to this other person. And this company was bringing some new products to the table, some new coolers and stuff. And CyberPower was there like, oh yeah, our company, our website can make or break your product. And I'm just like, ew. What a disgusting thing to say to an up-and-coming company, to a brand new company. And that is just really just a crystallization of that entire conversation I overheard. Of them basically talking down to them and saying how basically, unless they gave them a great deal or something on their parts, on their products, they weren't going to make it in North America. And come to find out, I realized I was saying something to that they came over to talk to me about something real quick. The person from the company the booth I was at, and I was like, who is that? They're like, that's CyberPower. I was like, oh God, that figures. That is so on brand for them. Jesus. So I was leaving and I was just like, oh, hey, I heard you're from CyberPower, right? Hey, I'm Brayathorn. I'm the pre-built guy. They're like, oh, yeah, we know who you are. Okay. I was like, reach out to me, man. I'd love to talk to you guys. Nothing. Not a word. Terrible. Silent Furies. I heard CyberPower PC rocks for desktops. No. iBuyPower is in the same region as iBuyPower, CyberPower. Even though they're down the street from each other, yes, but they are two different companies. And I don't know about the people who have had bad experiences, including Linus and Gamers Nexus. Linus's experiences with iBuyPower, excellent. Their Secret Shopper series, though, every time they call CyberPower, it's like in the tech support episodes, hilarity ensues. The thing about it is, there's plenty of people who will tell you CyberPower is fine. They will then follow that up by telling you, I got a CyberPower PC and I never had a problem. That's not when you know whether a company's good or not. Any company that sells PCs will have plenty of PCs that never have an issue until years later when maybe they do, right? Out of warranty, whatever. But PCs have issues, like a lot of them do. And that's computers, that's Windows, that's whatever, right? And it's the people who have an issue that will come back and tell you not to buy from CyberPower. Eric Bergman, Starforge versus iBuyPower. Two different companies. iBuyPower, a lot more customization. Starforge has zero customization to their PCs. I do, however, everybody, have some fantastic news. Guess what shipped today from Starforge Systems? The new pre-built, rebuilt PC. Shipped today. Ha ha ha! Oh! Y'all gotta understand something. Like, I like iBuyPower a lot. Okay? They were the first company to recognize what I'm trying to do. Back when I had like 5K subs or 4K subs, they reached out to me and were like, hey, what you're doing is super cool. Thank you for talking about pre-built system integrators like that. Like, just like they're just computers. Thank you. And then we proceeded to work together on stuff. However, they're inflexible as a company. They have, when it comes to marketing, basically a team, a committee, okay? And though there will be individuals at iBuyPower who recognize what I do and recognize the benefit to system integrators and to consumers of what I do, and the benefit of a focused audience, a team of marketers will look at that and be like, well, he's still 5-digit subscribers. Why don't we keep pouring money into Jay's 2 cents? And which is what they're doing, by the way. SCT fair, anyone? So when I got them to agree to do the PC for pre-built, rebuilt, it made a lot of sense to me. They're pretty much one of the first companies I even talked to about the idea, and they were immediately, the main guy there who I worked with was immediately like, yeah, no, that's a great concept. We want to be the PC that's in all those videos. And I was like, cool. But by the time it was time for them to actually ship me a PC, I had a different representative who's a cool guy. Make no mistake, very cool guy. But instead of being the person who's kind of in charge of all marketing stuff, he is not that person. He is one of the team, rather. The person in charge of all the marketing stuff went off to do the VCT stuff, and King is one of my favorite people on the planet. King, you're the best. And no shade to the person who I work with now, but the help was limited, and also I ran into so many myriad issues. Like, it took months to even get the first PC. It did. And then by that point, it was like, I got to go to Computex now. And then I was like, cool, I have set up the sponsorship for all 4 initial episodes, and it's through Deepcool. And then a few weeks after Computex, Deepcool imploded because of the sanctions. And I was like, oh, and then I spent months getting new sponsors on. And then just one thing after another. So, but during all that time, one of the things that iBuyPower did not understand, and I said this to them many times, I was like, this PC is going to be upgraded in every episode. By the end of the series, it is going to be unrecognizable. They were like, cool. Well, we need it back in 3 months. And I was like, what back? It's going to be changed. It's not going to be the same PC. I'm going to have all these parts I've put into it. I'm not sending you that. And then they were like, well, we'll extend it. I'm like, what do you mean you're going to extend it? The thing is, any company that was going to do this was going to need to sacrifice a PC. But for that sacrifice, my evergreen series that I've been planning for years is going to feature your company's PC in every episode and showcase how upgradable it is, and show people how to work within the PC that they could buy from you. It's insane that I'm not charging for that, but I'm not. Other sponsorships are going to push that series forward. So when I talked to Starforge about it, they were like, yeah,
please, we'd love to do that with you. And just take your time. No, just make this thing the best you can. I have to reshoot everything, by the way. Everything. Every single shot. Because I can't have deep cool products in it anymore, which I started with, and I had to reshoot that stuff. The PC that was featured in everything is no longer that PC. I had to send it back to iBuyPower. So we're starting from nothing here. But Starforge is like, take all the time you want. This thing is yours. And I understand. We understand. It's going to be completely changed. I mean, guys, there's going to be a case migration video for this. It's going to be the longest video in the series, the last one. But there's going to be a case migration video. That's a massive... It's like basically rebuilding the whole PC. So, yeah. Anyway, that tells you something about a difference between Starforge systems and iBuyPower. iBuyPower is make no mistake, iBuyPower is the largest system integrator in North America. Not OEM, largest system integrator in North America. They sell the most PCs. And in fact, in most categories, they sell more PCs than Dell. Okay? Just not like the very budget office PC category. I'm talking about gaming PCs. They sell more PCs than Dell most years. But they're also very corporate. Very, very, very corporate. Starforge Systems is flexible and proactive and still growing and growing very fast, but still growing. So they're more able to... Also, I'm talking to the CEO when I talk to Starforge. I talk directly to the CEO. And he's just like... Him and I go back a while. He's one of the coolest dudes on the planet. Also one of the nerdiest dudes on the planet. My favorite combination. But from the consumer side of things, okay. So that's the fun news about Starforge and the pre-built rebuilt series. We're gonna have an unboxing stream, of course. So yeah, Nakey Jakey, what's up? I had one that was pretty good. Asus board. I said, CyberPower PC. Okay, my first PC back in 2009 had a Core 2 processor and 8 gigs of RAM. 9800 GT. 2011 was able to play Skyrim back and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Dimple Green, what's up? Not said it in a while. Got my iBuyPower about a year ago because your SI review system has been good. The customer support sent me a backup Windows key when I had operator error registering it. Nice. Dimple Green. What's up, by the way? Hope you're doing well. Well, that's the game in pre-builds. They want you upgrading when you start noticing your PC struggling with newer games. I mean, Ghost Punter, where they make the most money is if you buy a new PC from them. So maybe iBuyPower changed their mind on that. But understand, this is an educational series. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun series. I'm going to make sure it is. And you're going to have fun, or else. No, I'm kidding. But it is going to be an educational series that is consumer forward, because it's like, hey, the economy is going to be bad or it's going to be good. But you will always be able to upgrade your PC in one way or another to keep that thing running. If you can't buy a new one, upgrade what you got. I would think a case swap and motherboard swap might be the same length of challenges. Might get the free ring case in a month, hopefully. Nice. And then there's people that think you need the newest hardware to keep up with these games these days. Ghost Pwner, that's why in the Nerd on a Budget video with tech YouTuber Hot Takes, my take was not that hot at all, but it was one that I like to say often, and that is the only benchmark that matters is enjoyment. That's it. If a benchmark says this thing is better than your thing, who the freak cares if you're having a good time? Does not matter. Thick PCs, I want Starforge's old school RuneScape case. It's awesome. It is awesome. I saw it in person at CES. It is rad. This is what I was telling you, Mikey, that you don't have to get a booth or a suite at CES and show out. Just attend. Go check it out. You'll see some stuff. You get to meet some of your contemporary / competitors out there and just get to know them. They're cool people. And you get to see stuff like that in person. It's really fun. I do a case swap every 2 to 3 months. Igor, you would do that. It's like rebuild. It's like being able to build a whole PC for the price of a case because you're using the parts you already have. Might like the PCMR hot take from the Toasty Bros. Which one was it? It was... Oh, the power supplies one. Yeah, people scared of power supplies, budget power supplies. Selling my older PC, and I guarantee that thing can still run some newer games on that 2070 Super. 2070 Super is still solid. There's a lot of people who think it may be bottleneck because the 3900X. 3900X is really less of a gaming CPU and more of a productivity CPU. I started my channel with a 3900X. Well, I started it with a 4790K, but I started the whole pre-built thing with a 3900X 3070 PC. That can be upgraded, though, to a 5600X 3D if you got a Micro Center nearby, or a 5700X 3D if not. And bam, there goes the bottleneck. And the bottleneck would only be at 1080p, not at 1440p or higher. Remember, you go higher than 1080p, CPU not really matter much anymore. It's only if your budget is like whatever that you get the highest end CPU as well, if you're focused mostly on gaming. Sonic 1000 Toasted Bros are great. They are great. I got to meet them at LTX. Super nice guys. At this LTX, actually. Funny. Oh, it was a short farm earlier today, actually. I guess I'll have to see that. I want to check out CES for sure. Just need to make preparations. Yeah, the thing is, you'll hear a lot of us over there say this, and I found out for myself it's true. Computex is better, but if you have a general enthusiasm for tech, not just PCs, you'll find other stuff to like at CES as well. Because it's anything that runs electricity through it, it's going to be at CES. Whereas Computex is all about computing. God, it's going to be so much AI this year. Get an MCMR hot take short earlier today. Did he mean PCMR or MCMR? He said PCMR earlier. Oh, PCMR. Yeah, I see you got me on Discord there. I don't know how I feel about this new interface. Oh, so it's worst takes. I like when they do the thing where they go around to their whole crew and talk to them. Anarchist Healing, what's going on? How are you? 1300K 4080 build in one of those when it first came out. It's like a windstorm in there. So much airflow. Yo, Bray, finally got my PC back. Really? How did that go? They drop the ball on such simple things. Oh, boy. I had a guy from work bring over his PC for me to look at, and the poor guy's PNY 3080 broke. Oh, no. I do like the NSOP one. That is a nice case. One of my SATA cables to power supply was missing. So it's made it impossible to run the fans with my hub and also run my SSD drive. Now they got to send me that. Until then, I'm not able to use the SSD. They better get it for the right power supply. They didn't send me the power cord, so I'm using a spare one. Oh boy. All little things, right? This is Zydax, by the way, that Anarchist is talking about. Didn't send me my extra fan that went to the build before. So you had it in there and they took it out and they didn't send it back? An SOP one's a good one for a test bench or something. It is a nice case. I had an SOP one. I ended up selling that PC. So they also forgot the cable that allows a radiator's RGB to work. So they have to send me that. The GPU radiator fan bearing is squeaking. Do you have a liquid-cooled GPU? Is that what it is? Like the AIO GPU? Zydax, this right here. The hell, man. This is why I took down the coupon code that I had with you guys. Thank you for the lurk, Araxnus. And lastly, also, they didn't send me the mesh fronts. So they're looking into that. They didn't send you the mesh front panels? Like it was installed on there and they took it off and then just left it off? Is that what you mean? Instead, I got the regular version when I was told it was the mesh I was getting. Wait, what case was this? They swapped your case. That's right. I forgot you're telling me they were going to put a different case on there, right? Jumbo D41. Okay. So I guess, oh, John's bow. John's bow. That's right. I guess this makes sense because whoever you're talking about in tech support is probably not the person doing the building. So I guess that might be their excuse. I don't know. Regardless, not okay. It was a customer support manager, but yeah, but that's not that. Yeah, that person is busy managing customer support, not building PCs. So yeah, they're overnighting me the parts. Well, good. Well, see, Alucard, the thing is, it's another thing where I just want them to do better. They're not going to go away because of one customer's bad reporting on them. They're not going to go away because some YouTuber says bad things about them. I approach this like, hey, y'all, what are you planning to do to improve this? What's the plan? Because holy crap. I don't ever want light gaming PCs thing to happen again. I don't want that to happen again. There's no guarantee you're going to have someone swooping in like Meta PCs to be like, oh, we're going to cover all of their warranties. Okay? It's just, yeah. Or a tech center they used to repair these PCs, which sucks either way. No, it's all in-house as far as I know. If I'm not mistaken there. Jesus Christ. Zydax. The problem is this. The main reason I'm so alarmed with, and this is not the first bad thing I've heard about Zydax's customer support, okay? Zydax is one of their main selling points is a lifetime warranty. What good does that do if the service sucks? It's a guaranteed lifetime of misery. Like, that means that people will go to like Alexander PCs, who actually does do pursue every effort to follow up a lifetime warranty and make it sound like the great deal it is for them, or make it into the great deal it sounds like, I guess. It makes people approach that if they came from Zydax and be like, lifetime warranty, whatever. No, they actually mean it. But damn, Zydax, come on, man. It's limited lifetime of the platform. Once they don't sell it, you got to pay off the hit. I mean, once you can't replace a part, that is going to be a problem. Parts are made for quite a while, though, but yeah. The GPU and 64 gigs of RAM I put in it has it running like a champ. Well, that's good. Even though they screwed the pooch, it's the best performance I've ever had. That's good, Anarchist. I'm happy to hear that. You do deserve a break in all of this. Yeah, the way they worded it is crap. Oh. I mean, all things considered, a lifetime warranty is a crazy thing to offer for PCs because things change so quickly. And I mean, it basically, the best way I think to look at a lifetime warranty is basically a warranty that's going to last longer than any other warranty. But in 20 years, computing is going to look completely different. Guys, thermal paste is toxic. I usually touch my PC and eat food with hands. What's up, Silent Wraith? Don't eat thermal paste. Cool. Good talk. But hey, it's fixed. It's running pretty damn well, and 16 gigs of VRAM is cray. Well, good. I think I've been snoozing enough. The Twitch ads. I'm gonna go ahead and run one real quick. If you're watching on Twitch, you're not subscribed, or you don't have Twitch Turbo, whatever the hell it's called, you're gonna see a 60-second ad or 2 30-second ads or whatever. We'll be back right after that. I'll just go ahead. We're just chilling anyway. No one has come in looking for help, so yeah, we're just chatting. Agreed. Yeah, instead of like 1 to 2 years, you get 5 to 8, pretty much. I think that's a healthy way to look at it, as in to temper your expectations. But you should get that 5 to 8 years with zero problems if they're offering you that. We're just chilling. Well, at 20 seconds left on the ad for Twitch viewers. I don't have anything like Twitch provides when it comes to YouTube ads, and there are automated YouTube ads that run. It's apparently something I need to do if I want YouTube to recommend my stream. So I don't know when those ads are happening. So I apologize to you, dear YouTube viewers, if you get hit with ads and I am talking about something important. But I did set it to be conservative with the ads, so it's really not going to be showing you too many mid-roll ads there. I got 3 years tech warranty with my PC. I also want to say I like the way that Sick PCs does their warranty, because various PC components can have pretty long warranties from the manufacturer, and the way Sick PCs does it is that you have lifetime labor and tech support. So what happens is, oh man, my PSU died. All right, send it in. Going to be free labor, or they'll do tech support of the phone for free. It's going to be free labor, and we're going to RMA the power supply back to the manufacturer, get it back, put it in, and you're good to go. It can potentially mean longer turnaround times, but in the grand scheme of things, you're going to do better with that, because 1-year parts warranty when a power supply has like a 10-year warranty doesn't necessarily make sense. Shout out me. That's right. PCs. I don't generally show Discord on stream, but we'll take a look. Oh, great thumbnail for me. Thank you, Twitch. Oh, it looks good. That is a lot of red right there. Makes sense because of the specs of your PC. So yeah, that's supposed to be the mesh front. That's a big difference. You do want that mesh front panel. No, well, I mean, looks okay. Looks pretty good. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Didn't you say that this was an AIO thing here? An AIO GPU? Let me look at something here. It looks like, I don't know. I'm probably wrong. It looks like there's a power. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. So it looks like maybe they have just one 8-pin PCIe power connector there going, and then they use a pigtail over here. That's not how I would run it. I would run separate 8-pin cables for that. So they shouldn't have done it that way. Yeah. Did they send you the extra power supply cables? Because I would run that extra cable. The reason is you don't want to run more than 250 watts through one 8-pin PCIe power cable. They're not rated for more than that. Really? They're not? And I think that's the right number. What it can lead to is oxidation and melting of the jacket of the cable. Was it 250? I watched a Tech Yes City video on that, and they were very specific on the wattage. Was it 150 or 250? 150 watts or 250 watts? Which one was it? I don't know. Oh, thank you for giving a shout out to the Sick PCs. Appreciate that. Oh, hold on. Let me fix something here. There we go. That's fixed. Neat. I need to fix it here too. There, that works. Okay. I saw Robitech do that today. I thought, oh no, he used no. Ghost Poner. I saw the power cables. It was two separate ones. It was two separate power cables. But yeah, you don't want to use pigtails there. Depending on what GPU this is, and I know you've listed the specs before. Depending on what GPU this is, it likely uses more than you would want to run over a single 8-pin power connector. It can be fine for a year or two, and just slowly is oxidizing the jacket on the wires. So you don't want to do that. And I've been very vocal about that before, to the point where most SIs stopped doing it, and I didn't have to talk about it anymore. ZX is special, though, it seems. I'll call them tomorrow. Awesome. 330 watts. Okay. You talking about that's what the GPU uses? Yeah, I smoked my Sega Top power supply. They were white, then burned brown, says Mr. Clean 1985. What's up, Mr. Clean? How's it going? Yeah, you generally don't want to experience that for yourself. It is pretty bad. 150 watts. Okay, yeah. You don't want to do more than 150 watts over a single 8-pin power cable. Right. So yeah, that's a big problem. That's a big problem. They need to fix that for you. Like immediately. So, okay. We are still chilling, guys. We're still hanging out until someone submits a form, says they need help. But let me know what's going on with y'all. I need to get like a lint roller for this. I don't want to be looking like Ludwig over here with like a bunch of hair on my pop filter. There we go. I muted it. Think of adding some fans to the top on top for radiator to do a push-pull config on CP radiator, but enough about me. How's life been for you? It's been okay. I just I've been really stressing over whether I'm going to make it to Computex or not. I'm not going to do anything concerning like the community to do it because the dollar amount is too high to get me over there. I'm going to be making some calls tomorrow, but yeah, we'll see. Just to follow up, the thing is, I'm waiting on word back, and I don't want to bother the people who are potentially going to be sponsoring me for a solid amount of money in order for me to get over there. So it's a pretty tricky situation. The thing is, I cannot afford to go there on my own. I just cannot do that. I'm not Gamers Nexus. I don't have a very successful merch store to do that. Even if people did buy a bunch of my merch, I don't do it the way they do it, where they do it on mass orders and make more money off of it that way. Instead, I use Fourth Wall, which is awesome, but makes me less. I'm staring at this 9950X3D 5080 PC I built. How is it staring back? It is a good looking PC though. Mike, I was thinking about what I would choose if I could choose anything for a PC, because we were talking about that, remember? And I was looking at the latest MSI Project Zero motherboard they released, right? Because it looks, it would like that in the white and silver Evolve X2 would look insane. The problem is where they placed the PCIe slots. Let me look it up so we can talk about that a little bit, because it's so annoying. It's so frustrating and so stupid. God, it's a beautiful motherboard. It was a new Z890. Look at this. Like that's in hold on, let me look up the case too. This is the Evolve X2 case, and it works with Project Zero motherboards. So you have all your connectors on the back. There is no cleaner build than this, okay? Along with it, like an MSI white GPU in white and silver, or like a Gigabyte Aero, was the Aero or Ice GPU in white and silver, but the Aero one, white and silver, would look thick in here. And this is a motherboard, but what's my problem with this? The positioning of the PCIe slots are so annoying. You can put maybe a capture card here, depending on the thickness of your GPU. Maybe put a capture card here. But yeah, and the IO sucks. It sucks. It's so bad. 6 USB Type A's, and they're not even USB 3.2 Gen 2. None of them. It's all USB 3.0. With a single Thunderbolt. This is Z890. They could do dual Thunderbolt 4 and so much more IO here that it would pretty much require putting in a card like this one where you add more USB ports. But where are you going to put it if your GPU is any level of thick? You're right. It's a damn shame. It is a damn shame. Also, from what I understand, Mikey, from what you told me about that, the cable management on the Evolve X2 kind of sucks, right? And it makes sense. There is so much glass. Like, all of this space could have been used for cable management. All of it. Well, that's what it makes me wonder. For rear connect, like Project Zero or BTF from Asus, how do you have enough room to connect those cables and not have a problem? I like how they don't show you the back of the motherboard. Like, isn't that kind of important? Well, yeah, we watched the one for the previous one, and yeah, it looks like pretty narrow. I'm Johnny Blaze while I watch, says Christopher Crawford. Good luck with that. But like you can see it. You can see the vision, right? Man. So basically what I would look at is a gigabyte motherboard, a gigabyte ice motherboard with a matching GPU. Good luck. And you would have cables in it, you know. One thing that I would do, and I've said this before, and I said this to Fantex when I first saw the case at Computex last year. I was like, this right here, I would do reverse flow right there. Fresh air just for cooling your CPU right there. Because you have triple fans under here in reverse flow. I would do a reverse flow fan right there just to get better airflow to the, more airflow to the CPU. At least Gigabyte White GPUs are cheaper to get. Are they? Honestly, the thermals are really good. Well, yeah, chimney style has been a thing for a while. Where you just have bottom intake, top exhaust. That's been a thing. But I would add this for just more. If you're running a really hot CPU or you plan on overclocking, I would do that. The thing is, if I'm doing Z890, it's for a 285K or 265K, and the temps on those are just better than the previous generation. Better. So it's not a big deal. The killer on that case for me is radiator compatibility. I guess you got to go with Fantex, right? Yep. No Liquid Freezer 3. That's a thick radiator on that thing. Robert Fixit says ready for AI. No. It's one of these things that says it, doesn't it? Ready for AI PC. Get out of here, AI. Nobody asked for you. And you'll see more of the Gigabyte easier than the others. I would say, actually, if I were to say, you know what, I'm going to do this as a gaming PC, I would say instead to go with a 9070 XT, like the XFX white 9070 XT, with the customizable blades on it, and get those in purple. Dunion rings, baby. Good to go. But you know, that's if I'm doing a new PC at some point, it's going to be to replace my video editing PC. It just needs to look good. I'd like to show it off. You're not going to lie. I do not see a reason to upgrade my PC for a while. What do you think, guys? No. The only reason to upgrade is if it stops working for you in some way, if it's not enough for one reason or another. If you can get that, though. Apparently, like some system... I mean, I know Alexander PC's got a bunch of them. I have the MSI Pro B760M-VC. See, for me, I don't go micro ATX unless the case is micro ATX. I guess in height Y series cases, it doesn't matter because that part's hidden anyway, but you don't have much in the way of expandability regardless, but because of the shortened PCIe slots, but you know, whatever. But no, Mikey, it's clear that they built the Evolve X2 for very specific hardware for specific types of builds. It's not like the super modular, super adaptable kind of case we might be used to. And that's not necessarily the worst thing. It's very not Fantex. Yeah, pretty much. But it is very, very beautiful. Like, damn. You could still put a capture card. You could. I can still put a capture card in that. It's just it doesn't have enough I/O. So I have to choose between a capture card. Depending on the thickness of the GPU, if it's 2.5 slot, like some 5080s out there and whatnot, you could do a USB card and a capture card. Yes. But other than that, like putting in a 5090 in that, not going to happen. Unless it's the actual Founders Edition 5090. I'm never going to see one of those in my life, very likely. I put D30s in this last one I did. It still looks incredible. Yeah, I mean, that's what they're showing here, the D30 RGBs. Why can't I zoom in? Why can't I zoom in? Oh, I guess I have to zoom in like this. It's just... Okay. Oh my god. Ah! Make the window wider. Okay. I just want to make the picture bigger. Here. No open image in new tab. What did you do with your freaking site? Why can't I open the image? You would have to save it? You have to save the image and open it? That does look good though. You're not allowed to? Very cool. Thank you. Give my PC to my girl for her crafts. 700 XP, 42. So I'm looking for my new baby. Says Wiggly Smalls 805. Hi Wiggly Smalls, welcome to the stream. If you're looking to get a PC recommended to you or a parts list to build it yourself, either way doesn't matter, pre-built or not. Click that link, fill out the form, and there you go. Oh, okay. Alucard, you know, I guess it's all in the syntax there. $6,000? Yes. 9950X 3D by itself is approaching $1,000 for a CPU. It's like $700. Not to mention every other part is some of the highest end hardware money can buy. And also, are you not paying attention to the economy right now? Because good God, everything is more expensive right now. I think in that case, it would be best to order custom length PSU cables from Cable Mod for a back connect motherboard. I would guess that would be true. It's just, it seems a little silly to get custom beautiful cables that are never going to be seen. Very happy with my current system and probably won't need to upgrade for at least 2 years unless something breaks. Lol, nothing will. John Paul Bacon, I'm gonna knock on wood for you. Nothing makes you superstitious more quickly than becoming a tech person. An IT person specifically. But yeah, Wiggly Smalls, click the link, fill out the form. It'll get you into here. Right in that spot right there. And I'll be able to help you out. I'm flipping between the Zotac Solid or the MSI Inspire 5070 Ti, since I'm looking at working with the Z690 Ace board again soon. And those have like I'm not sure about the aesthetics of those, but are they the ones with like the bronze or copper colors on them? Bro, I thought about getting red GPU PSU extenders. You can do that. I mean, the thing is, your PC is already drenched in red, Anarchist Healing. So it's not really necessary, I would say. If you had a little bit more subtlety on the RGB front, then you add things like cable extensions. But that's my opinion. They sell cheaper looking ones. Yeah, just for like custom cable lengths. Like small form factor builds can really benefit from those. Byspender X Byspender X says, I have the same mic and I love it. Are you using XLR or USB for connection? Well, I'm glad you asked because I like talking about microphones. So right now, the only reason I'm using this, I love this microphone too. It is fantastic. I am using the USB with this. And the reason is when I go XLR to the XLR dock on the Stream Deck Plus, I have to get my mic monitoring because I like to hear myself when I'm talking. It's just a lot of things that people who broadcast like to do. When I do that through Wavelink, there's a delay that drives me out of my mind. It's like 10 milliseconds. It is unforgivable. I can't do it. So instead, I go USB with this. And normally I was going XLR with this, which is my Super 55, my Shure Super 55. Simply just an XLR super cardioid dynamic microphone for broadcast. My favorite microphone of all time right here. So I can't use that now. And I'm just doing USB like this. I'm still using Wavelink, but I'm getting my monitoring directly from the microphone. So it's instantaneous. Once I get back to using that, hold on. You can't see it. Oh, hold up a second. There we go. And now I can hide it. Once I get back to using that, which is my Rodecaster Pro 2, and once I bring that to the new setup over here, then I can go back to using this thing and I can uninstall Wavelink from my entire PC. Please, Elgato Wavelink. You done me wrong. Because that drives me crazy. Have you tried the Fifine audio mixer? Asks Igor. I have not. I have not. I have talked to Fifine, and they actually reached out to me to do a review thing but it was for a microphone, and I'm already lousy with microphones. I got plenty of them. I got a ton of microphones. I don't need more microphones, but the mixer might be a good option, actually, because it's much smaller than the Rodecaster Pro 2. My other thought was to purchase a Rodecaster Pro Duo, especially because they have a white version and it's gorgeous. But it's also like $500-600. I had ordered one a year and a half ago when they first came out, and it just got canceled by Amazon. I was like, cool, okay. Guess I get that money back. Thing is, I'm only doing red because of the GPU. It can't change that red. Huh. Yeah, I guess that would be a thing. Oh yeah, were you able to find the model number of the alternate mic? No, but I could just look it up real quick. Let me see. The AM8. Ooh, they have it in white. Ooh, it looks good in white. Here, let me just share this to y'all. They have it in pink and in white as well. And it is $55. That is a hell of a deal. I like Fifine. I think Fifine makes great microphones. And I was actually, when I've been talking to Newer about, Newer, the lights and all of that stuff. I went to NAB for and all that. When I was talking about doing a potential collaboration with Newer, I wanted to do a beginner's streaming setup, and I've been talking to them about that forever. And they have a microphone. The problem is, to me, is that it's a condenser microphone, and condenser microphones can be great if you've done some acoustic treatment to the room you're in. I haven't done any acoustic treatment in here, not like the last setup I had. That even had carpet flooring. This does not. The acoustics in here are god awful. So what you need for that instead is a dynamic microphone. A dynamic microphone, these are the ones where you see people all right up on the microphone like that, okay? Not like a condenser microphone where you hang 10, which is you're this far away, okay? Hang 10. That's my rule of thumb for condenser mics, but as you can hear, it doesn't sound nearly as good as when I'm right up on the microphone, like with a dynamic microphone. Condensers, though, you want some space there. Then condensers, though, so condensers sound really good, though, and they capture more of the natural frequency of the human voice on the top and the bottom. So you'll see, whenever you see someone like, look at Sea-Dog VA in his setup, there is acoustic foam all around that room. It's a part of the aesthetic design in there. And he uses a Neumann microphone, which is one of the best condenser microphones in the world. Dude does voice acting and stuff. Of course he uses that. I have a microphone that is a beautiful condenser microphone. Basically my other favorite microphone in the world, which is, at least that I have, the Shure KSM32. But that one, I have it in like a foam enclosure that I can use whenever I need to do voiceover work for videos. But something like this, the reason something like the AM8 is awesome is because you have both USB-C and XLR connections. Now, the reason that's great is because you can start off just USB-C when you first start streaming, but eventually you might want to get an audio interface. And if that audio interface has XLR, then you can upgrade to running it off of XLR without buying a new microphone. You upgrade your audio interface first. And then eventually, if you're like, well, I got a little extra money, let me get a new microphone as well, you've done that overlap, though. So it helps with transitioning, that kind of stuff. Nice to have option. But Robert, thank you for asking. But what my thought was when I was talking about the Newer stuff was that maybe Newer could work with Fifine to put something together. I think that would be really cool. All right, Wiggy Smalls has put in a request here. Hold on just a second. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's do this. All right, everybody. So, Wiggy Smalls, if you don't mind, do this for me. It would just show that you're following on the channel, because since I help for free, the only thing I ask is that you follow for free, unless you already have been. Just drop an emote in chat for me that says I'm on the list. If you follow the channel, you have free emotes, and one of them just says I'm on the list. Drop that emote in chat for me, if you will, and we will proceed. There it is. All righty. Easy peasy. Now let's talk about your build. Sorry, I had the music up a little bit. Alucard, I can't believe it. Aren't you missing something here? Oh, I didn't click your links. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. I know these are really expensive though, but it is beautiful. And then the Zotac. Yeah, you've got that sort of gold, bronze, and black colorway there. Very nice. Anarchist Healing, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. And yeah, I'm glad they're finally getting you fixed up over there. Within 1 month, within 2 weeks, pre-built. Not too much RGB. Not interested in upgrading CPU over time. So let me ask you this, Wiggy Smalls. What is the actual maximum budget for your build? You gave me a range here of 3,000 to 3,500. I'm looking for the actual solid number of money dollars you're able to spend on this PC. Whatever that maximum amount is. 3 days, only 6 hours sleep is killing me. And yeah, thank you, man. Glad they did too. Absolutely. Thank you for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one. 3,500. All right. Now, not too hard here to get an awesome 1440p gaming experience. Doing a white build, so that's cool. Let's see here. Which way do we want to go? You're looking at price to performance. So your iBuyPower, Skytech kind of build. Let's just take a gander through here. The thing is, you can go with a boutique build and get 1440p for 3,500 bucks. No problem. Mikey, do you have 9070 XTs? Let me ask you this, Wiggy Smalls. What type of gaming are you doing? Like, what kind of games are you playing? Looking for HP NV battery? The A order didn't work. Backup Lappy OEM. Also need 3-panel capable box under 5K with legs for work and minimum 1440p games. And 2 27s and 32 eye-friendly monitors. Shopping in the current year is really something. Tex Edgy, thank you for the 300 biddies. This isn't a marketplace, though. I don't think, I feel like I'm a drive-through person at a fast food place. Did you want fries with that? But I appreciate the biddies. If you're looking for help on finding a PC, then you would fill out the form, which has been posting in chat, and I can do it here. Oh, Wiggy Smalls, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate it. You don't have to do that stuff. I appreciate it, though. Mostly, Tex Edgy, what I do is I help with desktop PCs rather than like laptops and things like that. I don't really do monitors either because I wouldn't consider myself an expert in that. Desktop PCs, yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, that's very humble of me, I know. But I mean, I feel comfortable making recommendations in that category. If that's something you're looking for, the form is right there, and I can definitely help with that. So basically, when you say 3-panel capable box under 5K, any PC that has a dedicated GPU can do three monitors. That's not a problem. But if you're saying with legs for work, you're looking for something with multiple purpose, including productivity, things like that. But you're going to have to be specific with me, whether you like it or not, because that's what the form kind of forces you to do. Because if you want good help, you have to give good information. You gave quite a bit there, I'll say that. But the form's going to make it even better. Crazy G says, how's it going? How's it going, Crazy G? Welcome to the stream. That's a large crate of potatoes for that much. It is. If I were to take you at complete face value, Tex Edgy, I would say like, oh, you're looking for a box with 3 panels? I can give you a box with 4 panels and one on the bottom and some flaps on the top for $5K. But no, I appreciate the lingo. You're good. I get what you're saying. And yeah, we can help you out. Just fill out the form. Get on the list right here because it is Wiggy Smalls' turn. I'm at work, of course, there's a forum. Seemed like a good dude. Cheers. Thank you for the same text stream. You got it, Tex Edgy. And thank you for earning yourself that bit badge right there. I appreciate you. And yeah, like, I got a thing where I definitely get the desire whenever I'm hanging out in my buddy streams like Robitech and or if I'm on a UFD tech stream or something like that when they're doing a build. People are asking simple questions because you feel like, oh man, I got to get my question in and maybe I'll get an answer. Here, this is what I do, is answering those questions, but I make you give me way more info so that you can get a real purchasable result out of it. So yeah. But yeah, the forum is pretty simple though. It's all questions I think people should be asking themselves anyway. And I can make a couple recommendations on monitors. I have had a couple come in, but yeah, it's going to be very limited though. Okay, so Wiggy Smalls, Call of Duty and Fortnite. Got it. And again, thank you for the bits, Wiggy. Now, looking at the rest of this, you want the PC in white. I applaud your taste. That's going to look good. I like the white aesthetic on PCs, so sue me. Not too much RGB, definitely doable. I was looking at different SIs, and I was trying to ask one of them, who is here, whether they have the 9070 XTs in stock or not. Mikey, are you still here? Might need to make another change or two to the form. The case type, fish tank versus mesh, might be a good idea. Yeah, the problem is I try to make the changes once a year, Alucard, because otherwise it sort of messes with the spreadsheet a little bit. Adam Keller, thank you for getting a membership over on YouTube. Welcome to the Swarm. Thank you very much. You got yourself some emotes on there now. I'm into it. You got to get your Amazon affiliate thing up. White, of course. I do need to get that going. Maybe I'll call Amazon tomorrow. That's going to be a fun phone call. Okay. Okay, so Mikey may have left, which is fine. Person's running a business over there. So let's... Maybe Paradox? Y'all saw what Paradox could do when we unboxed 8F's PC. It came out amazing. Oh, snap. Okay. Northern Lights Custom PC, thank you for gifting 5 memberships to the community over on YouTube. Let's go, nerds. That is a YouTube membership for Frowlor, Face Off 007, Adam Williams, Radio Matt Gaming, Z-Man Scar 715. And again, thank you to Adam Keller for joining the Swarm. Welcome to the Swarm, everybody. Thank you very much, Northern Lights. I appreciate that. Okay, yeah, look right off the bat here. We've got the H6 Flow, which, yeah, NZXT, not in my good graces on the pre-built side of things, and I'm not recommending NZXT build anymore. They still make a good case. I just don't usually go out of my way to recommend it just because of the company now. But that plus an Aorus B850 Elite Ice to match that, oh, hell yeah. Galahad Trinity SL Infinity 360 cooler is going to look awesome in there. It starts with a 9700X for 1440p gaming. That is more than enough. And that is what you're looking at, just gaming at 1440p. You might be thinking to yourself, hey, $3,500, why not put a 9800X 3D in there? Well, that's spending a couple $100 extra on a CPU that you're not going to use. Because once you go above 1080p, it doesn't help anymore. The CPU is not as important. It's nice to have, though, but here, with the economy the way it is, got to focus on the GPU. 32 gigs DDR5 6000 should be fine. 2 terabytes of Crucial T500, states 7400 megabytes per second. Is that correct for the T500? I don't think so. Hold on. Oh, no, it's Gen 4. So, yeah, that's about right. Specifications. Yeah, it is correct. Sequential read is up to 7,400 megabytes per second. So, that is correct. I was thinking T700. I could not get my old affiliate account to work, so I just made a new one, and it works. Oh, nice. Been watching for months, so I thought I should join. I have an awesome PC, but the bug never goes away with wanting to build another one, says Adam Keller. Well, thank you for joining, Adam, and thank you for enjoying the content. I really do appreciate it. The long-form content has been offline for a while. That's going to be coming back. At this point, I'm more just organizing my thoughts on how I want to approach it. And I do want to bring back... I basically need to move that over here, get this microphone back online and everything. Or I can just use it with this and just not monitor it, and it'll be fine. It won't drive me crazy. Looks like for this one, we're doing the Be Quiet... Lightwings LX fans ×3. I'd like to match it to the AIO though, so we're going to see if we can change that. We cannot, so that's fine. Interesting. Not sure why we can't change those. I wonder if they have a Be Quiet cooler in here to match. I mean, it's going to look fine. Nope. Oh, well. Okay. Now, this has a 5070 Ti in there. 1440p and 4K gaming all day long with that. Not a problem. But with your budget, we can push it up to the 5080 in white. The Aorus Master 5080, I believe. Oh, no. Hold on. It's going to be a bit too much, I think. Let me see what the budget was stated at again. 3,500. Okay, 3,645 before my discount. So that does push it up a little too high. And I was going to want to bump up the power supply to 1,000 watts too. Well, I mean, you're doing 1440p. You don't need a 3080 for that. Go back to it. A 5080. Did I say 3080? 5080. I don't think I said 3080. If you heard that, then you're wrong. The only thing is there's not a white one for that. That kind of bugs me a little bit. I'm shocked that they have it at all, but okay. Maybe just the lack of a white 5070 Ti means maybe looking elsewhere. And that's no fault at all of Paradox Customs. It's so hard to get stuff these days. You cannot fault them for this. Thank you for the lurk, Crazy G. I appreciate you. Let's take a peek at Alexander PCs. And also, I can look at sick PCs without Mikey being here. I can do that. But let's see what we're looking at around that price point of 35. The Gladiator and the Strategos. I don't know how to say it. 3,500 buys you a lot of PC. It gets you a heckin' lot of computer. 9070 XT should absolutely destroy Fortnite and Call of Duty at 1440p. Not a problem at all. We can shoot. Now the thing is, can we change this to white? I don't think so. What's going on there? There usually is an option to change it to white. Not seeing it here. Okay. Could go Spartan in white. Bump that up to a 5080. Where's the white option? Did they take it away again? All right, no Alexander PCs, I guess. Let's just see what they have for their ready to ship, I guess. Man. $700X3D, 9070 XT. Wait, what? Hold up, is this... I remember seeing this one before. Did this say sold out? No. 78... Dude, this is such a... I remember seeing this one last time. This is such a sick PC here. Sorry to sick PCs, by the way. It's just a... You can't just own that term. But look at this. Ready to ship. And it looks like an 011 Evo. In white. Okay. With Lian Li fans. And they have that XFX 9070 XT, which is the new cream of the crop from AMD for GPUs. All white RAM, white motherboard, white and silver rather, with the Alexander PC's LED panel back here, looking awesome, and all matching fans here. Even with the medallion on here. Oh, God, that looks good. So this one's ready to ship. It is at $3,000, plus I have a $50 discount. So this is a definite option right here. I'm going to go here. We're going to look at desktop PCs. Let's look at pre-configured, see what's here. The Visionary. This one has a 9700X, awesome for 1440p gaming. Arctic Freezer 36 cooler. What? Oh, it's a representative example. So it has an air cooler rather than an AIO. X670E-A Asus ROG Strix motherboard. This has a 9070 XT placeholder, so basically they can't tell you what the exact GPU is going to be. Vertex 750. Okay, no, I would want that upgraded to at least 850, probably at least 850. What about just doing a custom builder? Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, y'all know how I feel about this case right here. Evolve X2 in white for a white build. Custom builder prices are the same? Okay. But I wouldn't put a 750 watt in this with a 9070 XT. That meets the minimum, but you know me. Minimum ain't quite enough. So that's a good thing is you can just configure systems here. $9,700X. Okay, should be 850. That tracks a little better. Now, maybe you can tell me which of these coolers would you be putting in there? would you want to put in there? Does the Galahad 2 fit in there? SL Infinity? It's funny because I was calling out for you earlier. I was like, hey, you know, do y'all have the 9070 XT? I was asking about that. 9070 XT will play both those games at 4K around 100 FPS. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Casey Walls, what's going on? I'm still rocking a 3070. I love the 3070. I hate how everyone says 8 gigs isn't enough for 1440p. Just turn down texture settings and 3070 will hold up. I really only play Black Ops 6 though, lol. Casey, the problem is most newbies who are new to this stuff they'll like never go into their graphics settings. They're never going to go in there. They just want to play games. I think everyone should get used to getting into your graphics settings and optimizing, but it's a bit much to ask for people to just be willing to do all the time, for every game all the time. So really, like to me, the 5060 Ti, they shouldn't have an 8 gig and a 16 gig version. It should just be 12 gigs. But most 8 gig cards are still rocking, so whatever. Okay, so that'll work. And motherboard. We'll go this guy here to... That's the one that was in the other one as well. There's no white RAM per se. But there's the Royal Neo. 32 gigs, 056000. CL26 is crazy. I would say CL28 or CL30 is fine. Oh, it's 6400. I'll go 6000 CL28. Yeah, this is a better choice. This is faster and cheaper. 2 terabyte 990 Pro for storage. $9070 XT. Is there a white one that you have available, like the, say this one here, which is the XFX version? These apparently are readily available from distributors, from what I understand. I love the 4070 Super. I think it's an awesome GPU. I can get whatever the customer wants. Hey, there you go. If it's a placeholder, then you're basically going to be asking, I guess, hey, what do you want? $1,000 watt, 400 watt, 850 watt. Here we go. Vertex GX 1000, 850 watt, 1000 watt rather. There you go. And it would be the D30 RGB fans. So you would need 3 reverse airflow. Okay, Mikey, are you willing to do the one rear reverse airflow one? I'm just wondering. I mean, you know what? You test it. I have the fans to test it myself, but I don't have the case to test it. Okay. And if you want them all to match, you could do the 3 of these. Oh, maximum reach. Never mind. Okay, so that's that. There you go. But you could also go with the M25s. It depends on what price we're at. 3242.18 for this lovely boutique build right here. I like that you got these, man. I like that you have these added on there. That is so nice. Plus the hey, actually check this out. So Wiggy Smalls, you can actually get yourself a UPS within budget here and protect your system right off the bat. This one does up to 1,000 watts. So consider whether you want to run your monitors off of it or not, but the system is what's important. Now, most UPS will have a side that is run off the battery and surge protection, and another side of a bank of connectors of plugs that are just surge protection. And that might be what you want to run, like your monitor on, stuff like that. And just run the PC off the battery. But the thing is, you need to have at least one monitor working to shut down your PC properly. So you need to have that on, at least one of those monitors on there, your primary one. If we want them to all match, I can also do that. Just reach out to me and we'll get it done. So what we're looking at, Wiggy Smalls, here is a system integrator that is a boutique builder. Now, this is a more bespoke option here where you actually get to talk to the builder, talk to the owner of the company, the builder, and all that, and have them build it to your specifications. What the configurator, though, we are using this to essentially make the big picks. But when it comes to like the specific GPU that you want, as long as they can get it, they might be able to get you a specific GPU. And the one I would recommend for your build is going to be something like this XFX 90. But in general, the GPU is a 9070 XT. You're going to have an all AMD build, AMD CPU, AMD GPU. And the 9070 XT, as mentioned before, let's see, who was mentioning this? Northern Lights Custom PC and Service stated that the 9070 XT will play both Call of Duty and Fortnite at around 100 frames per second in 4K. You're looking at 1440p, so it's going to be even better than that. So, yeah. Sorry, Alexander PCs, for using your pictures to help somebody with a build for another SI. I was going to say you could also go with the M25s from Fantex, but the D30s are going to get you more performance. They're just thicker fans. But yeah, I was saying you can get yourself this up to 1000 watt output, 12 outlet battery backup or uninterruptible power supply UPS right here. Add it onto it for and still be under budget here, including especially because you're going to get a discount code with me. So this is just a tryout thing. You can do this if you want to, or you can remove it if you want to. But if we add that on there, and then we go to add to, we're at $34.98 and 17 cents for your budget of $3,500. Now, if we go here, hit add to cart, I'm going to hit share cart and I'll give you the link for that. Here you go. Ghost Poner needs a drink. Oh boy. Sounds ominous. So we go to, let's see, proceed to checkout, and that's where we can enter a code. Right here. And it's already there. Braythorn takes off $174.91, bringing the total before taxes down to, and before shipping down to $33.41 and 78 cents. I think that sounds pretty good. Yes, I will hydrate along with you. Thank you, Ghost Pwn. Appreciate it. DLSS FSR frame gen will make cheap GPUs usable in the future anyway. At least I am. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, let me go back on some of your. I've just built my nephew's first gaming PC. I used a 650 XT and 1080p one. Yeah, that's a good time. Definitely, that's a good combination. If you're gaming at 4K, the CPU isn't the bottleneck. The GPU is. Did Gary say something about that? There's a 4K monitor that does 1080p also. Would you want the 900 X3D versus 9700 if you were just gaming and using Office 365? It depends on if you're going to use a 1080p dual. It's a dual mode monitor. If you're gaming at 4K, that's the thing, Casey, is that Gary was saying there's a monitor that is either native 4K or native 1080p. You can flip between the modes. And if you're going to be competitively gaming in, your Call of Duty, your CS2 or things like that, your CPU does become more important. At 4K, the CPU is whatever. It's just there. X3D is something that I don't recommend necessarily unless the budget is a whatever thing. And you can spend as much as you want. Here, we put more towards the other components in the PC. Awesome motherboard, beautiful case. It has a lot going for it. Seasonic power supply. A lot of stuff going on here. And the 9070 XT is going to be awesome in there. The 9700X is a great CPU for this because it's not just a 6-core, 12-thread CPU. It can do more in case you do want to do more, but without spending a lot of money on 3D V-cache. That's not going to help you out because they stated 1440p as their goal for resolution. 1440p is very much like 4K, in which the CPU is not as much of an issue. Hopefully that explains everything. There's your build. And the code to get that $175 off is here. There it is. That's the code. You can all do it in all caps if you want, Wiggy Smalls. But what you're going to want to do is reach out to Mikey over there at Sick PCs, and y'all can work out the details of the build, which could adjust the price upwards or downwards a little bit depending on what individual choices you make on, say, the GPU and such. No problem, Wiggy Smalls. And you hang out as much as you want. You're going to hear more recommendations happening, hear more of my sort of thought process of how I do all this as we go. Develop, what's up? 5070 Ti versus 5080 Super. There have not been any official announcements of a 5080 Super, so I'm going to go for the card that exists, the 5070 Ti. Byspender says, I'm still rocking a 3070 Ti 8 gig working just fine. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your settings, your resolution, all that good stuff. Tame Pinati, how's it going? Welcome. If you choose us, please shoot me an email or feel free to join our Discord and reach out there. I mean, that's the thing, is if you buy from a big SI, there's some benefits there. You usually pay a little bit less for the same stuff, but whatever. You don't necessarily always have as many options. But here, you're talking about an experience where you're talking to the person who is building your PC future, and who's going to be supporting your endeavors from there on out when it comes to your PC. So, boutique buyers knowingly make that sacrifice. And you said price to performance, but you wanted 1440p, so you don't need to go with a price to performance kind of experience. You're going to benefit from all those little options we chose, and from having direct access to the person who's building your PC. Lattices, welcome. How's it going? Well, I feel like we've helped out a few people. We helped out 3 people tonight. That's like 50% more than last time. Or more. Maybe it's 3 times as many people. But yes, if you are looking for help, it's not just about coming in and just saying stuff like, hey, is this good? Or, hey, I want this. It's about actually telling me very helpful info that helps me make a good recommendation for you. So if you're looking for that help and you're watching on Twitch, look for the links that pop up from Stream Elements stating, hey, if you want help, click here, fill out the form. Or if you're watching on YouTube, go to the description, click there on the first thing in the description and fill out the form there. Now, for those of you who want help but don't necessarily want it to be live on stream, we have our volunteer techies in the Discord. There's a whole forum there for tech questions where you can get recommendations just like this. And a lot of them have, been, I mean, all the volunteer techies have been vetted by us. So it's sort of a self-sustaining thing where we all kind of make sure everything's on the up and up with our techies, because they are volunteers who do this because they want to. And it's a really, really good setup. And you just create a forum post there and they can help you out. Looks like we got a new entry here. We'll be playing Expedition 33, says Tanmay, twice. You don't have to spam questions, you know that. I mean, no, I don't have any plans to. I'm already backlogged on games I want to play. Going on the leaks. If you had to choose between both similar performance, would you get the 8 gig more VRAM or 16 gigs enough? Well, I can actually use the 8 gigs of VRAM. Most gamers would never. They're just not going to use it. 16 gigs is peak for gaming, really. I mean, it's very good for gaming. Yeah. Now, and if you ever see someone reporting on like, well, this game used like 14 and a half gigs, or it's like it's 16 gigs is not enough. Most games are designed to use as much VRAM as is available. So it'll seem like, oh, you have to have 16 gigs of VRAM if you want to play such and such game. But most games are optimized to where they use whatever VRAM is available. So if it's like, oh, there's only 12, it'll use 11.5 or something. So yeah, that's okay, Tame, you're good. Now, if you're going to be doing more than gaming, and the 5080 Super does actually have 24 gigs of VRAM, then it might be worth it for you. The thing is, current 5080s are going for like $1,600 or more. 5080 Super is going to get up to like 2K, what the 5090 was supposed to be. And that one has 32 gigs of VRAM. Where does it stop? Where does it end? I ask you, where? Where? Yes. MSRPs mean nothing. They mean nothing. And they never will again. And it sucks. Well, Lattices, I will happily help you out. Let's take a look at what we got here. Let me ask you this question real quick. As you can see, for anyone that in green that I've actually helped out, it's no longer arranged. I guess I didn't do it for ENRF here. What is your actual maximum amount of money dollars you can spend on your PC? Not a range, but an actual number, like a solid number. Supposedly only going to be 5070, 5090 supers. That would be dumb. They need to do it. Oh, 5080 super. There you go. 5090 Ti. What is it going to be? $4,000? Guys, well, these things came out like 2 months ago, and hardly anyone was able to buy them. Why are y'all already talking about the next stuff? Why can't you just stop? And that was the last thing Develop heard before ads hit. Okay, so just waiting on the answer from Lattices. Lattices, as a heads up, you may want to make sure you're as caught up with the stream as possible, because this is going to be a conversation going back and forth as we proceed. I'm joking. Oh, yeah, I know. $2,100. Not doing it, guys. Not doing it. I will just simply mention that there is indeed a $2,000 to $2,500 bracket that you should have put yourself in there. Not the $1,500 to $2,000. Because you are not indeed within $1,500 to $2,000. Not a big deal. But, okay. Gaming, streaming, content creation, and video editing at 1080p. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb here and recommend that you go with at least 1440p if you're doing content creation / video editing. But let me ask you this. What is your order of priorities on all that? Is the most important thing the content creation? Or how important is that to you? What kind of video editing are you going to be doing? Missed opportunity. Tenmei, I had a long... I don't think you were here. I did this long thing. I had this long discussion last Thursday about how I realized that the rants were something unwelcoming and not helpful. And that's the last thing I want to be. Sometimes it was fun, but only if the person who was receiving the rant was in on it and was cool with it. And that's not going to be everybody. So I sort of moved on past that. Mostly just video editing for other people. Okay, and they're probably going to be most people make 4K content now, unless it's going to be short form. So I would recommend going for at least 1440p on your monitor, and at 2100 you should be able to afford that. You are interested in upgrading your CPU over time. You don't want too much RGB, you want the system in black, and you're prioritizing price to performance. People are farming your rants and rage, so I understand. Yeah. I enjoy your rants. I'm very much in on it. Understandable, though. Yeah, the thing is, Raxus, if you were to fill out a form, you would get everything right. So I panic sold my 4090 and got stuck with a stupid 5070 Ti. Still salty I couldn't get a 2K 5090, not paying extra 750 MSRP is where I'm at right now. I will say that this one thing developed, though, the 5070 Ti is awesome if you can get it for a decent price. Like, I could not find a game that would bog that GPU down if you're just willing to use the features it comes with. Getting 100 FPS in Oblivion, that is excellent, Ghost Pwner. That game is pretty hard to run. I was considering getting it for Sunday gaming streams, but the thing is, what I really want to shift to for those Sunday streams is GTA RP. I really want to do that. Anyway, okay. Let's think about this. Should we try to do a build? Let's see what the pricing is like. Because normally if you're doing streaming, content creation, and video editing, so the streaming thing you're doing for you, obviously, Lattices. And for streaming, the main focus, the main difference is that you need a lot of I/O on the motherboard because you're going to end up connecting all sorts of different streaming devices to it, audio interface, things like that. There's different you need a lot of USB on those eventually. Maybe not at the beginning, but when you need it, you're going to want it. So we have to be able to choose our motherboard. So that means a custom builder. I know that pricing is getting out of hand on the custom builder on Skytech when it comes to their GPU pricing because of tariffs. Let's see if that's hit iBuyPower yet. Let's say 9700X. That's going to limit it to this one here, but we're going to be able to... No, we're not. Yeah, we can. We can customize that. Okay. I think this is a really nice looking case. I think they did a great job on that. I hope that 4090 sold at peak pricing. Yeah. Okay. All this extra crap on the screen drives me crazy. Oh, I need to adjust this back now. There we go. Oh boy, they got my favorite. They got my favorite, the X670E Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. I love this motherboard. It works with both black and white builds. It has amazing I/O for the price. 4 M.2 sockets, great power delivery, great aesthetics. It's a fantastic motherboard, and not every SI carries these anymore because now it's X870E, yada, yada, yada. No, this one's a great deal for a content creation machine and a streaming machine. I like that case. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Good deal. And it's one you can only get from iBuyPower, which is cool for them. I mean, that's pretty cool. Now, we're at 1634. We have to proceed carefully because this thing is currently coming with a 4060. We want a little more horsepower than that. Now, if we go with something like a 5070, that is going to bring it up 506. But a 5060 Ti with 16 gigs can do 1440p all day long and 16 gigs of VRAM Now, that's not going to help you with gaming, really, because it's a slower card. It's not going to be able to use as much VRAM cache as quickly, but it can help with your content creation endeavors. And bam, we're still under budget. The CPU that's in there currently, we got to look at the RAM too, because the RAM is 16 gigs. That ain't going to do at all. No, no, no. Now, if we go with 32 gigs of DDR5 6000, that bumps up the price a lot. Now, we don't necessarily want that, but... Oh, Kingston Fury Beast RGB. So they have some of these that are free for the upgrade. But they're in white. Well, you know what? You're going to have basically a few white highlights in there. I hope that's okay. I think it'll look kind of cool, actually, because it's going to be not just monotone. We can change that, though, if you want. And the main reason I say that is because if you just get this kit right here, the basic 16 gig kit, and get your own kit of RAM, you can get much more RAM, which is going to help you with video editing. Let me show you what I mean. You're literally paying $210 to get a 32 gig kit of RAM and lose this 16 gig kit. So that's costing you actually about $270 for that 32 gig kit of RAM. Well, what if we just go over to, let's say, Newegg? Check out this kit of G.Skill Flare X5. So it means it has AMD Expo for $194. This is a 64 gig kit, DDR5 6000 DL30 for $194. So what that means is this. You stick with this kit right here, and it just is your backup kit. When you receive your PC, you pop those two sticks out, pop the other kit in, and you have 4 times the RAM with 64 gigs. If you're going to be doing video editing, you trust me on this, capacity is king. RAM capacity, 64 gigs. It makes a big difference if you're editing 4K video. Like a big difference. Because when you're scrubbing through that timeline, it is buffering all of those frames into your system memory so you can quickly go through it. It has to build those previews. And those previews sit in your system memory, your RAM. So I would say the pricing on RAM at iBuyPower sucks. Get a kit on your own, like this G.Skill Flare X5, for $195. Instead of getting it here. Just stick with this 16 gig kit, just so you have memory that comes with it. You take it out of the system. Don't leave it in. You can't put don't put 4 sticks in there. Take it out, set it aside in case you need to troubleshoot your system. We put a 360 millimeter cooler in there. Yes. This is coming with a 9700X as a free upgrade from the 9600X. That is good. We're going to capitalize on that. Okay. Now, where is this going to help you out? Well, if you're doing content creation and if you're doing streaming, okay, you're probably going to need to do some image editing at some point. Okay. Hear me out on that. For your streams, you're going to want to make certain assets for your overlay, certain, if you're going to make thumbnails for videos, things like that, you're going to be using Photoshop. The 9700X is the number one CPU, consumer desktop CPU on the market for Photoshop. It's the fastest. Is it the fastest for video editing? No, it's not. Okay. If you want to really focus on video editing, I'm actually going to push you towards Intel, not AMD. If your focus is on video editing, but it's not. You're editing stuff for other people. So the 9700X can do video editing. It'll do just fine. It's not going to exceed at it. It's not going to be exceedingly good, but most of your stuff is going to be rendered on your GPU anyway, and it should be okay. You have the extra VRAM for that, and that'll help, but really, it's not going to be a super fast GPU for video editing. GPU prices are higher right now. That's just the state of the market. If you want to, you can go with something like a 5070. That's going to be a faster GPU, but has less VRAM. It should still be fine. For $125, you'll still be under budget. But I want to look at the other aspects of this build, though. Now, we have already picked out an awesome motherboard for streaming, like you're set. Now, using Premiere Pro, is where I would say Intel would benefit you more, but 600 watts, are you kidding me? No. We gotta bump up the power supply too. RM850E, 850 watts should do the trick. That's going to give you room to grow with your GPU. A way to upgrade your GPU down the line without having to upgrade your power supply. Storage is a one. Oh, here. This is where I like to have a little fun with this. So we're on a 1 terabyte Western Digital Blue SN580. That's a decent M.2 drive, but a faster one would be the SN850X. That would be $33 more, except that there is a free upgrade available to a 2 terabyte Western Digital SN850X. So for $33, you're not just getting a way faster drive, you're also getting double the storage. Uh-huh. Let's do Braithorn. What's going on, Special Joey? How's it going? Can I game on my Raspberry Pi 5? You can run emulators on that usually. Yeah. My kit is $80. Well, what is the... Oh, I have 6,000 DDR6. DDR6? How'd you get DDR6, Ghost Poner? Okay, DDR5, you typoed. Got it. Each kit is 816. So, okay, so you have like 4 sticks in there. Are you getting your 6,000 megatransfers per second? Wiggy Smalls, thank you for the additional 100 biddies. I don't know if I said that already. Thank you very much. So Elder Scrolls 4 remastered, basically. Nope. I wouldn't play that on Raspberry Pi 5, Special Joey. Now, the thing is, Raspberry Pi 5 does have PCIe lanes, if I'm not mistaken. So you could technically get an adapter to hook up a GPU, a dedicated GPU to that. Wait, seriously? I believe so. Look, if you want info on Raspberry Pis, talk to Jeff Geerling. I'm not an expert on that. And he's probably done it. He has probably done that before. Just a fantastic YouTuber. I got to chat with him a little bit at NAB. That was nice. But yeah, so we have 2 terabytes of very fast storage on here. An amazing motherboard. The 9700X is kind of a do-all kind of CPU where it's not going to be the best at anything, but we had and it's kind of the same for the 5060 Ti. In 1440p gaming, it's going to do the job for sure. And the 16 gigs of VRAM can help you in other stuff a little more than it's going to help you in gaming, but it can help in gaming too. I would like to upgrade your GPU to maybe, I think it's 9070 XT or something, is going to cost way more. This is a PC that's not going to excel at anything. It's going to be decent. It's going to be good at gaming. It's going to be good at streaming. It's going to be good at video editing, but it's not going to be amazing at any of those things. Okay? But it is also ripe for upgrading as well. So you have more power supply than you need. Apparently 250 watts more power supply than you need. That's going to give you room to upgrade your GPU down the line once GPU market stabilizes a bit. That means that you're not dumping a bunch of your budget into a broken GPU market. You're getting a solid GPU, but nothing crazy. And when the market stabilizes in a year or two, then you can get yourself an upgraded GPU and sell this one on the used market. How much is it? 5070 Ti 10-May? It's more than the budget would allow. I have a 3 terabyte drive, and my old PC still works, even though the OG PC was shot. Why did you shoot it? Or why did someone else shoot it? That's even scarier. But yeah, 5070 Ti as an upgrade. I love that card. I love the 5070 Ti. But it would be $411 of an upgrade. $300 over, well, about $250 over budget. $350 over budget. My bad. I was right before. $350 over budget. That doesn't quite work. Oh, power went out. Yeah, that'll do it. You might want to get yourself a UPS, uninterruptible power supply. Once GPUs require $1,000 power supplies, do they? Will they? Don't think we're quite there yet. Give it a couple more generations. It's two 16 gig sticks at DDR5 6000. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's a good kit. It's half the capacity of the one we're talking about though. So it makes sense that this one is double the price. Everything died in it. The only thing that made it all right was fine was the SSD. Well, I'm glad that made it out. So essentially, you're going to have 5 terabytes of storage in this thing. The only thing is this: be sure to boot it up before adding in your storage. Okay. Make sure to boot into the new OS, and then you can put it in there and then just go into your BIOS and just choose your boot priority. Make sure to boot from the newer OS, and then drag over your data from the other one, or do whatever. Back it up somehow. Can I ask a question about this one my friend told me to get? Sure, absolutely. STS Trader NC, what's going on? Finally made a stream live. Love to help you provide the community here. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Thank you for making it to the stream. Would it be okay for what I'm doing? I don't really need the best of the best, like what you recommended, something decent. Did you just try to put a link in chat? Because it won't accept it. It doesn't, I can't see it. If you want to send me a link, you would need to jump over to the Twitch stream, which is linked in the description. And you can send me a link through a Whisper, which I'm going to go ahead and type something there so that you can click my name and click Whisper and send me it directly. Because if you just put this into chat, it's just going to edit it out. It's just not going to be there. Yeah, I don't see it. It's not there. The reason for that, Lastius, is that my stream will attract a lot of people who will tell you themselves that they are new to PCs, new to a lot of this technology, and might be tempted to click a link from someone who's putting in a malicious link. So we don't want that. Wiggy Smalls, thank you for dropping the bits. Look at you. You took that #1 bit badge. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Okay, Wiggy's still sending bits. I appreciate that too. Thank you. Thank you for the 100 additional biddies. Thank you. Whenever you do send bits, try clicking on that on the interface for that. There's some fun other bit badges there as well, or bit symbols. But yeah, thank you very much. Wiggy, thank you for the additional 100 bits. All right, you don't have to keep sending bits. I appreciate it. I was happy to help you out. Let me see if I got that. I did. Okay, it's Newegg, but it's Skytech. Wait a second. Okay, you did want your PC in black. So the main thing is, I like Skytech. I really do, but I would not recommend buying a PC from Newegg. Parts here and there, not a problem. An entire PC, yeah, I don't trust their support enough for that necessarily. Now you're looking at a 4070 Super, which is, I mean, I think I'd have to look at the charts, but I think the 5060 Ti 16 gig was kind of close-ish. 4070 Super is a little better in performance. Or it traded blows, if I remember correctly. Really depended on the game. But let's see, Intel 14400F. Nope, I'm not going to say 14th gen Intel. Nope. I'm not going to recommend 14th gen Intel because if it's 65 watts or higher, unless they were very diligent and they put it on the newest microcode, you could be looking at eventual damage to your CPU, internal damage to your CPU, physical, actual damage to it. Other than that, this is a nice build, except that like you have the minimum power supply needed for a 4070 Super, so there's no upgradability there. Airflow on this case is okay and just okay. But if you want a Skytech PC, I can just go to Skytech directly, which is what I usually say when you're looking at buying a PC from a third-party retailer. You're like, oh, I like this Skytech computer. Let me just go to skytechgaming.com. And that's what I would do. It's just in this case, this is a completely curated PC just for you. RAM is not low, I would say, Tenmei, if they're not serious about video editing. But if they are, then yeah, the RAM is a bit low for video editing. No, I don't really care about brand. I might just get the iBuyPower you told me to get, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and let me actually look this up. Let me look at this real quick. I'm not a React streamer, but we are going to take a look at there's an episode number 2 of Secret Shopper 4 is up now on YouTube. Let me see. Gamers Nexus 5060 Ti.
And this is first.
Wow, that's loud, isn't it? Okay, so it's definitely not beating the 4070 Super there. See here. This is at what? 1440p. Where's the 4070 Super on this chart? I'm seeing the 4070 FE. It's close to the 4070 in performance. At least in Dying Light. Uh, 4070 Ti is up there. No 4070 FE here, or no 4070 Super here. I'm gonna skip this one. It kind of bothers me sometimes. I'm just kind of skipping through a little bit. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, another thing to remember is when they test these things, they turn off every feature. Now, the 5060 Ti, if you're talking about gaming, versus a 4070 Super is going to have the benefit of more frame generation. Now, in some games, that can be a little bit weird. In some games, it won't be. Some games, it just looks good. But when I tested it, I was shocked. That was 5070 Ti, 5070, I tested multi-frame gen, and I was shocked by how good it was. Never got around to testing 5060 Ti because I was having issues with capture, but we can still go around and do that later on. So yeah, they might have the article up on the website. They do. I'm sure they do. They don't get them up there immediately, but yeah. 5060 Ti, let's see, 4070s right there. So yeah, this one's going to have better gaming chops. But for all your other use cases, it's not going to be as good. The 9700X is going to beat the 14400F because this right here, by the way, is the worst kind of CPU from Intel to get if you're going to do video editing because it's an F SKU. That means it has no internal GPU in the CPU. That means no quick sync in video editing, and you lose the benefit of having an Intel CPU. So yeah, there are definite downsides to this. Places they had to cut corners in order to still make some kind of money while selling on a third-party website that takes a huge cut of the profit margin. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying this one from here. If you're interested in a PC like this, Skytech will have one similar to it directly on their website. Now, if we were to look at something like, let's go to Skytech actually. Wow. Old.skytechgaming.com. What does that even mean? What do you mean old? I'm not trying to do old. I'm trying to do new. Skytechgaming.com. They're working on it right now. I can't even go to skytechgaming.com. It went down during the stream, okay? But they'll have PCs there that are going to be awesome deals that are within your $2,100 budget, that are going to be probably better for you. I didn't realize while I was looking at the charts that I was zoomed in. But yeah. So I would say just like if you're wanting a PC to do multiple things, you generally have to make sacrifices to not have the top gaming GPU or, you know, this or that. You have to bring everything into balance in order to make it more usable in multiple use cases. So this one right here is the one I would recommend. If you want to go up to 5070, you can. That'll boost your gaming performance a little bit. In fact, if we look here, let's see where the 5070 fell. Right here. That's how much of a jump you're going to make from here to there, 5070. Okay. Just in this one game, which is Dragon's Dogma 2, 1080p max. That's not actually as GPU bound. Here's Dying Light 2, 1440p. Right? Okay. 5060 Ti here at 73.9 frames per second. And the 5070 that's 5070 Ti. Where the heck is it? Their charts are so weird right now because they have some GPUs on some charts and that are not on the others. Oh, it's right here. It's right here. It bumps you up to 106.2. So if you're really wanting to get the boost in gaming performance, forget the nonsense of people like, oh, 5070 sucks or whatever. It's $160 more than a 5060 Ti. That's not crazy. And there are some 5060 Ti's like this one here that is only it's only $35 more, but that makes this $130 more, essentially $125 more. So you do this, puts you $2162. I give you a code that gets you 5% off, and you're now under budget. So there you go. I think that's going to be a good compromise right there. You're getting a solid boost in gaming performance. You lose 4 gigs of VRAM, but I think that you're going to be fine with that. Because you're gaming at 1440p. 1080p actually. 1080p, you said. Now, if you bump up to 1440p, which is what I'm recommending at this price point, you're going to have a better experience with this card, I believe. So let's go ahead and save this summary. Just understand, guys, like it's difficult for me to do this way. Oops, wrong thing. I'm not ending. It's a little difficult for me to do this way because, to be clear, I have to make certain compromises right now because of price jumps and everything. Normally, a PC that's where you're trying to do 1080p, also video editing and streaming for $2,100, not a problem where I'd have to be explaining myself for a long time. But with these GPUs all being more expensive than they should be, I kind of have to do that. John Paul Bacon, the thing is that Premiere Pro is designed to use Intel's QuickSync. It's not designed to do anything like that with AMD. AMD was supposed to have, along with AMD GPUs, Smart Access Video, which is supposed to be similar. And I haven't heard a whisper of that ever since they announced it. Wiggy Small still dropping biddies. Thank you very much for the 200 bits. I appreciate it. I'm glad I showed you that you can have a little fun with the little icons that come up with that. Here, let me send you this custom build that's just for you. And I'll show you what it comes out to with my discount code. Now, the thing about it is the code is probably going to change next month, which is in a couple days. But let's see what that comes out to. Oh, also, they ship it with a video card uninstalled. You got to install a video card yourself. It's not a big deal. You just need a screwdriver, and it's very easy to do, and they come with it comes with instructions on how to do it. Okay, no thanks. View cart. Coupon code BRAE3. BRAE3. 5% off systems over $9.99, $108 off. Your estimated total now is $2,053.90. Right there. There you go. Shipping should also be free as well. And all you got to worry about is taxes. There you go. Oh, you built your own 3 times. There you go. Absolutely. This is the new normal, Tammy. You're right. Now, if you buy this next month and code BRAE3 does not work, try BRAE4. That's kind of the order they're doing it in so that it doesn't get picked up by scammy coupon code websites. Anthony C., what's up? How's it going? So I've decided there's something I think I want to add to my streams because you guys know I don't have it active right now. If you're watching on Twitch, there's still a logo there. Don't use it. Don't use the Tangia stuff. It's not integrated into Meld. But so my buddy Manly Reviews, Liam Manly Reviews, he has this thing. I think it's called Blurp that just has these sound effects that you can hit the stream with, and it's just really funny, and you just do it with bits. I don't know if I should do it because there's a lot of them that are uncensored, and I try to keep my streams pretty family friendly. But I think I want to add that just because I have fun with it. Here, let me show you a little example of the kind of fun that I like to have with his streams. So let's see. This is a Manly Reviews here. We'll turn on the sound here.
Would never idle above 50. Did it repay? Some people undervolt it, apparently. Yeah, I think that chip, then that specific one, I think does run very hot.
There's gonna be cussing and stuff.
I think that one. I don't know AMD very well. It's in heat.
This is the one I use all the time, so he might immediately know that it's me.
Honestly, if you're trying to buy like a better laptop, if you get used shit off of eBay now, like you can find like really good hardware for a pretty good discount. Still at it? Still at it, Fly. How about yourself? You still at it, dude? Jesus fucking Christ. That was loud. Braithern, welcome back in. How you doing?
I knew he would know.
Yeah, I feel like idle should be more around 42, 47. That does sound like a lot more reasonable. So I'd
yeah, I want to add that. So if you Wiggy, since you like using bits, time is it? We're gonna go ahead and raid Manly. Manly Reviews, for those who don't know, I've been raiding him a lot lately. Because he makes it fun. He makes it fun. Not that other streamers don't. I have a lot of good friends on here that are streaming right now. But Manly Reviews has one of my favorite YouTube channels. One of my favorite YouTube channels for like if you like game essays, essay channels or whatever. His are hilarious and awesome. And I've binge watched through his whole like catalog of videos probably like 5 times. Whenever I'm doing stuff or whatever, it's just so much fun to watch. So I recommend his channel 100%. But we're probably gonna go raid him and just drop some sound effects if you have bits. It's pretty fun. Oh, it looks like ads are starting right now, so we're gonna wait a few minutes. But we got to help out 4 or 5 people tonight. That's awesome. That makes me happy. I hope it makes you happy too. I don't know. Maybe you really do enjoy that. AMD invented the APU, so it's ironic that Intel APU is outperforming the AMD's APUs now. I mean, I just wish they didn't have FPUs. I think it's annoying, especially like I can imagine being an SI and like every time you have to troubleshoot with someone over the phone, you're like, oh god, they have an FSKU. So if there's a GPU problem, okay, you're probably gonna have to send it in. How are you gonna troubleshoot GPU issues if you can't plug into the motherboard to get video? Like, it's really annoying. Ghost Pony, been enjoying yourself? I'm happy to hear that. John, AMD's headcount of software engineers is nowhere near Intel. That's true. But also, Intel has way more money than AMD. So if they want to encourage Adobe to work with them on QuickSync, which they did a long time ago, they have the funding to do that. It's also about money, like so many corporate things are. So you better believe that's part of it too. Okay, those should be ending pretty soon. I wonder what he would do if I knocked to collaborate. I think that would be super annoying, which I love that. But I don't think I'm going to do that. It's just like putting him on the spot, which is great, but I wouldn't want someone doing that to me. And that's usually how I conduct my business. If I don't want someone doing it to me, I'm not going to do it. It's the golden rule. But yeah, guys, if you got bits or if you just want to hang out a little bit, Manly has one of my favorite YouTube channels, and that's not where we're going to. We're going to the Twitch stream, but also one of my favorite Twitch streams out there is a great dude. So come along with me and say some nice things or mean things. I don't care. It's Liam. He's fine. But he's playing Oblivion, the Oblivion remake, and he's one of the reasons I'm thinking about playing it myself for the Sunday gaming streams. So let's go ahead and drop a raid to Manly Reviews. And other than that, that's going to do it for this evening's festivities over here on this channel. I'll catch you guys on the next one on Thursday. We'll do more of the same. Until then, take care.
Let's go, nerds!
Also, make sure your BIOS is up to date. You may be sending too much power to it. That could be a thing, but... Braithern! Braithern! You're joking me. What? Okay. Yeah, right. You know, it's funny, Braithern. Welcome on in, by the way. Definitely give Braithern a follow, too. They're a fantastic tech YouTuber and streamer.
805 just followed.
Also, thank you. What was that? Wiggly Smalls 805. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Darkness 2 mentioned. We're talking about tech shit. It's funny, Braithern, I saw you were in chat earlier. I was actually like asking you a question.